Yeah, man. We on the island with La Isla. Get your merch from Mr. Fourth Row. S first, wipe hard. JK. Pooh.
I think you have a modeling career in your future, Marky.
No, I could never walk one of them runways. I can't do the turn right.
On the catwalk? On the catwalk.
I don't
you
shake
can't
my
do your little
tush
turn on the catwalk.
I don't shake my tush on the catwalk. I can't do that. They don't like facial hair out there. Derek Stone doesn't like facial hair. They don't like facial hair in the modeling world.
It's a few things Derek Stone doesn't like we found out about.
Oh,
so
we got to talk about that too. We got to talk about that too at the end.
Poor Eli. Everybody's always picking on the damn zebras. Why are you picking on us so much, man? Why everybody pick on the refs?
You're not zebras, right? They're eggplants. They're purple.
I'm actually in a group on Facebook called Zebra Talk. It's all pro wrestling referees. And it's kind of like a term of endearment. You know what I mean? Like we can call each other that, but don't call me that. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Everybody's always picking on the damn refs.
Well, that's a way to start off an Easter night.
I thought Eli's goatee was magnanimous. I thought it looked great. It was oranger than Sunday.
Well, don't get used to it.
I can't. It's gone next week, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
The Rocky Mountain Faithful made sure of that. That's an Easter present that Ref Eli won't forget.
How's it going, everybody? Hope you guys all had a fantastic Easter, as we all did over here up in the Northeast.
So much chocolate.
A lot of chocolate.
So many Reese cups.
How's it going, Lucas? Jet, Mr. Happy is in chat.
What's up, dudes?
I bet Mr. Happy loves Easter. I bet it's one of his favorite holidays.
Miss
we know
Splinter.
9 does
holiday
is the candy.
Right.
Miss Splinter's in chat as well.
So does Happy get to eat the candy while Monster 9 eats the Easter Bunny?
I know. I'm
pretty sure that is how it works.
I think that's what he looks forward to. Like when I was a kid, you look forward to waking up and the Easter basket, all the chocolate. You know, my parents used to put like little presents in there, like it was right at the start of baseball season. So they'd put like, batting gloves and little things, when we were kids. I get Monster 9 probably listens up like little kids when you're listening for Santa Claus. I think 9 always like grew up listening for the bunny so we could just eat him.
He's bunny.
Bunny foot. Yeah. Good.
And as always, we start off talking about food tonight, as we always do.
Lots of things are food to Monster 9.
That's true.
It's true. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, typically tonight is rewind night, but tonight, since we knew that we were going live this weekend on this fine Easter evening, we decided to pull double duty tonight. So we are going to be doing an episode of Reignited first, followed by the Rewind, which I believe we have episode 9 up and ready to go. And a steel cage match is what you'll be watching this evening.
Ooh.
Yes.
Mike, you like your cage. Maki, like your cage. Maki, like your cage.
So that's what's on tap for the evening. But before we get into the cage that Marky so dearly loves, we have to get.
I like tables better. You can put tables in the cage, and then I explode.
That's War Games.
It is.
War game.
Before we get into the watch along of episode 9 of Charge in 2016, we do have a bit of business to get to, and we have to go over what happened on Thursday night on Ignition. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Dudes and Belts Reignited post show here on Twitch a few days later. I am your host, Johnny Deathdrop, and yes, we had a banger of an Ignition that we had on Thursday. We actually have a new #1 contender for your Ignition Championship, and it looks like Zamori has a very busy few weeks ahead of him, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And we also saw him on Thursday night as well, so he's been nonstop as your defending Ignition champion, and in my opinion, he's done a very good job thus far, that's for sure. Very good fighting champion. Before we get into everything that happened this Thursday, But this past Thursday, let's introduce the panel for this evening, and this is going to be the only panel that you'll see throughout the night. On the left, we have the one that lives way up there on the east coast of Maine, the inventor of the Beacon of the Week, the one and only Coastal Crusader.
It is your local neighborhood favorite Coastal Easter Bunny, and I'm hopping along with my take on Ignited.
And on the right, we have our resident masshole himself, the one with the famous merch that just came out over the past couple weeks. The one
You
and
gotta be
only
a VIP to have one already.
Marky Pins.
What is good? No, I got Mr. Fourth Row on Speed Messenger. So my message gets to him faster than it gets to most everybody else. I've ordered merch. Got your final boss pad up there. Got my t-shirts. Get a hold of Mr. Fourth Row if you can't make it to a show. Give him your address and he will make sure that he gets your merch to you. But yeah, Ignition was a banger on Thursday night. We're going to go through all of it, including Derek Stone's commentary, which, look, like I said, we've given him some grief before, but that man on commentary right now is holding it together, because right now Lucas is doing a good job, but Lucas is still kind of a mess upstairs. That dude David Drake really messed him up something fierce, and Stone's doing a good job, but Stone is not hesitant to tell people about things he likes and he doesn't like. It must be a big guy thing, I don't know, and Ref Eli is paying the price. I got your back, Eli.
Poor Ref Eli.
He's
I got
got
your
a
back,
thing for
bro.
goatees, man.
I like the goatee.
He's got a thing against refs, dude. I think he's got a
No,
problem
you know what
with
it
refs.
is?
He's
I
always
think
giving Alice grief. He's giving Eli grief. I'm telling you.
it's goatees and refs, and you're both. You have a goatee. You're a ref.
Right.
You're a dude. We're his fourth favorite show.
Yeah. We were his favorite show that came on after Rocky Mountain Programming for a minute. And then when he found out that we couldn't do a live stream on Thursday night, then all of a sudden we dropped down to his like fourth favorite show. I don't know what's going on in his head, the stairs that he climbs to get to the next thought, but I think he missed one, because like you could have dropped us down to like 3. That would have been
I
fine,
think
but
he's
no, you
just
had
been
to kill.
swept off his feet by Maxine.
You think so?
I'm honestly clean too.
Mm-hmm.
Swept him clean.
Lucas goes, hey, slowly but surely I'm trying to get back to myself.
I know, bro. We seen it. We know you went through some serious garbage with that nut job, David Drake, and you just keep doing the thing. But fix that tie. Fix that tie. You'll be all right. It's not about how you feel. It's about what you need to go do. You got to kind of get out there and go do it. Get a shave. Fix that tie up. I'm telling you right now, you'll start feeling like a brand new man in no time.
Hey, you think if Maxine trips, she falls down and goes broom?
What's that? Sorry.
I said, do you think if Maxine trips, she falls down and goes broom?
I don't know.
John's not a dad yet. He doesn't get the dad joke.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I'm sitting over here like holding in pee from laughing at the dad joke.
No,
That was a magnanimous dad joke. It was a good dad joke.
I was going back because I wasn't 100% sure that I had it switched off of members only or subscriber only. So I wasn't paying
When you
attention.
handle the members,
but-
we'll handle the dad jokes.
Yeah.
Well, that's good then. At least I have some backup
We're
there.
covering all the bases. We're keeping everything swept under the rug. We're not sweeping anything under the rug. We're going forward.
All right. Let's see. What is this? Nothing.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. You guys ready to talk about Ignition on Thursday?
Let's go.
All right. And we're starting off with a bang here, ladies and gentlemen. Last Thursday, we saw an opening contest that featured one half of your reigning tag team champions, Echo, going up against your reigning Rocky Mountain Pro Heavyweight Champion, David Drake. We don't really see David Drake too much on Ignition, but he made a special appearance tonight. Thursday.
Yeah. Thursday he did. He showed up, and the faithful weren't shy about letting him know that, they're getting a little bit miffed by this guy, I think, lately. Like it was the fear and intimidation element for a long, long time. But now I think some of the superstars are kind of getting it, Coastal. This is kind of the impression that I get. They're starting to see what he's about. And, to be honest, Drake doesn't look that good anymore, man. Like he's kind of... the beard is growing, the hair's a little bit more wily than it used to. Like, he just looks like this, I don't know, this darkness is just like consuming him. Coastal, what do you think about this? Like, we've all fallen into like the dumps and stuff, but
yeah, and there's that, which if you need to go talk with people. It's always good to do that. So please, being serious for a second, if you do find yourself feeling that way, go talk to people. But David Drake at this point, it's kind of like the guy that's been in solitary for a long time. He's starting to go, I think, a little stir crazy. And I think he's maybe the voices in his head aren't all getting along anymore because he's just got that look about him. Like he knows what he's doing, but he's kind of out of body while he's doing it. We see that a lot tonight. We used to see when he got hit, it didn't faze him at all. He was laser focused and he was just a machine. Now we see him, he gets hit, and it's kind of like it's knocking him around a little bit. And it's kind of like he was in a trance, and Echo was able tonight take him to the limit, I felt. As far as we've seen anyone minus El Rey Leon take him. And these two are very similar. I think Drake has an issue with strikers because I think his speed is an issue or a lack thereof. And I think he's getting worn down. And I don't think it is the pressures of being the champ because I don't think that bothers Drake. He picks up a win tonight, but he looked human for the first time in a very long time. He looks exhausted, Marky. Is this one of these things where mentally, from all of the Sledge stuff and prepping for Sledge next week, which is going to be huge, all of this stalking people and the mind games, is it maybe taking too much out of him and he has detrimented himself?
I think it's just become him, dude. Like, honestly, I think this whole thing of being the one that lurks in the shadows and that which creeps up behind you, I think it became him, and anything that was his own other self is just completely gone. And now this exhausted mind of what used to be a man now has to exist with other men when he gets inside the ropes, and he hasn't been the same. And I'll tell you right now, he has not been the same. You mentioned Craig Farrelly when he was in the ring with El Rey Leon. He has not been the same. We talk about how Boss had not been the same since he was in the ring with David Drake. I'm telling you right now, Drake has not been the same since he was in the ring with El Rey Leon, Craig Farrelly. Farrelly took him to that limit that he hadn't been to for the first time in months up to that point. Drake looked human. Strikes and things hurt him. Submissions, you could tell, like there was pain that existed in Drake's body for the first time in a long time. And Echo does not care about those things. Echo right now is a loud and proud champion. Be a tag team champion with Balaam Lynx right now in La Isla.
They are rolling.
They really are. Momentum is absolutely on their side. And even though, I'm telling you right now, even though Echo loses this match, even though he loses it, I don't think this hurts their momentum going forward, because Echo literally threw everything except the kitchen sink. He threw that beautiful float over DDT. Sometimes it's a cutter, sometimes it's a DDT. He threw every possible thing he had. And I think if he got the chance to get those Liu Kang kicks at the end that Drake did end up blocking, that's the setup for the double stomp or the Swanton coming off of the top rope. If Echo hits those things, that match is over. And now Echo might have a pinfall win over David Drake. But it doesn't. It works the other way around. And Drake gets that big fisherman's buster, that snap fisherman's buster. And that thing is crisp. I mean, no joke. We could say anything we want about David Drake and his mental status and how he's just been a disaster lately. But he's still finding ways to hit these moves really, really crisp. And gets the win over Echo. But like you said, I don't think this stops their momentum. And I think La Isla will keep going forward. And if anything, Echo can take a lot of pluses out of this. That he took the champ to a limit that really nobody has taken him to in recent past.
I agree 100%. Echo tonight showed that if it bleeds, you can kill it. And he showed that the champ bleeds. And he's going to walk this one off. But definitely, I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, Marky. I say that because for the locker room, when David Drake tends to get angry, people tend to go missing.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if everyone should just maybe buddy system when you're going to the parking lot or the gym, buddy system, travel in pairs.
Echo actually just put in the chat that Drake's fingers were in his mouth. So he was almost like setting him up for the mall, and then he got him back for that fisherman buster at the end. Yeah, the old fish hook.
You see how he has the fingers taped now?
Yes. Yes.
When was the last time that David Drake got pinned?
the fact that we can't
Or
remember.
milestone of last year, because milestone of last year, Owen Easton took the pin in the tag match.
Correct. That was also the
I
same
mean-
day that he won the cup.
True.
Yeah.
It's been a really long time since David
It's also
Drake's
the last
Nats.
time he spoke.
Yes, yeah,
That's
true.
You know, I wonder
almost
if
a
that's
year.
it. Can I just drag this into a quick little tangent here for like 3 seconds?
I mean, I suppose so.
Do you wonder if maybe there's so much bottled up in the guy's head? You think he's got something to say? Do you think that maybe if he kind of got it out, maybe he could not so much look more like a man? Because I don't think he wants to. I think he wants to be the machine that he is right now. But I know the rest of us would love to kind of figure out what's going on in that head of his right now. And I don't know if maybe if he gets out there and really kind of does say what he has to say, that may end up getting a huge load off his chest and kind of just getting him to be able to clean himself up and look at himself in a brand new light and maybe start to pull it back together because, guys, he's human now. He's portrayed himself. He has been hurt. We've seen him walk out holding his knee. We've seen him walk out barely with a win like he did against Echo the other night. It's getting close. People are getting closer and closer to that final end game of who is going to be the person that gets one over on David Drake. Do you think he just has a weight in his mind that he needs to get out? Or is that what he's holding in to like hang on to all this, whatever this is? I don't know, man.
Neither do I.
I don't know.
Drake's been kind of quiet. But it is what it is. Drake picks up the win here in this match. Still keeps the momentum going into Peak of the Pack and at some point milestone. We don't know who his opponent's going to be, if he's even going to have an opponent at Peak of the Pack. I know that the Peak of the Pack match decides the number one contender for milestone against the RMP champ, so we'll see what happens there. We still got a few weeks before Peak of the Pack even happens, so it all depends on what happens on Charge, so make sure you don't miss Charge. Better not. Anyways, move on. Rocky Mountain Dragon, Atiba. Big Teebs.
Nuts.
Going up 1-on-1 with the Buffalo Brew in a hard-hitting contest here. Boys,
My main man that does the horns the other way. I do them this way. He does them that way.
so we all know what the outcome was in this match. What were your opinions on how this match ended up, leading up to it?
Mark Yellow, you go first. Go ahead, sir.
I'm torn.
How so?
I'm kind of torn here. Why was Bruce on the apron?
Why was he wearing the
did Bruce
headband?
Wayne-
Yeah.
Well, I can understand why he's wearing the headband. I can understand why he's wearing the t-shirt. I can understand why he has to wear Atiba's gear. Because right now, Atiba's being a dink, and he's loving this subservient thing for 30 days. He's loving this.
But why do you
Boston.
have Bruce headdress on?
Because he's Bruce. They've also been friends for a very, very long time. He had the headdress. He had the jacket. To getting up on the apron. And even Brew looked confused by it. So I knew it wasn't just me. Brew stood there for a minute and was kind of looking like, what are you even doing up here? And he gives Bruce a shot because if you're Brew, you feel like you're getting messed with, right? Didn't this guy just come out with your opponent? And now here he is coming up on the apron, regardless of what he's saying. He's not really interjecting. Bruce Wayne didn't interject himself in the match. He didn't get in the ring. But he got up on the apron and caused enough distraction that caused Brew. Now, this is also on Brew, because he could have chose to avoid it, but he didn't. But Brew chose to lay a solid forearm into Bruce Wayne's face. Okay, and knock him off the apron. And if you're Atiba, I think Atiba did what any one of us would have done in that moment in time. Your opponent's distracted. He's standing there. He's not minding you. Roll him up and really roll him tight. Atiba really rolled Brew tight and got the win here. I'm really torn about Bruce now. What is it? Is it a show? Is it when it's in front of the people? Is he trying to like, because he was walking around chanting Atiba sucks. Then he gets up when Bru's in control in that part of the match for the most part. And he kind of distracts Bru. Like, what's going on?
Let me play devil's advocate here.
Please do.
Maybe with this whole subservient thing backstage, maybe Atiba said, hey, if it looks like at any point in the match I'm in trouble, your ass is up on that apron. Like, that's one of your things you have to do. You got to get up there and do a distraction. So maybe it was an unspoken thing in the back, and maybe Bruce, really is walking around Atiba. That's how he's getting back at Atiba while he still has to do all these horrible things. Because I'm with you on this, Mark. I'm really hoping that Bruce isn't buying into the Atiba way that we've seen. Now, I know it works, but here we go back with the cheating again, the low blows, the distractions. He got a clean win tonight, but it really wasn't clean.
Mm-hmm. No, it was not Maxine clean whatsoever.
Now
that woman keeps a clean house, well-swept floor.
Now, on the flip side of this, what does this loss do for Bru?
I think it messes with his head. I think this loss is going to be a confusing one. I think this is going to be a weird one to him. Why is his friend Bruce up there towards the end? Why did he distract him like that? Like, I think Bru has more questions right now, and knowing Bru to be the guy that we know Bru is, I got a funny feeling that after that match happened, there was a lot of loud screaming and yelling. I'm sure a couple chairs probably went flying out in the back between Bru and Bruce Wayne's. I don't think this like stifles his momentum at all, because he had been doing well up till this point. Gotten a few big wins, had Damon Ace get himself DQ'd against him a couple weeks ago. Like, I think Bru this isn't going to sidetrack him too much, but I think this is more of like a mental mess than it is more of a physical as to why Bruce was up there. Because that was the catalyst that ended the match. It may not be what ended the match, but it was the catalyst that brought on the final reaction from Atiba that did end the match. I don't know. Got some questions for Boss.
Well, and I'm sure you'll have more questions as we talk about Bruce versus Remy in a couple matches from now, because everything from what you guys pointed out during this match kind of follows up with that match as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But before we get into that, we got to talk about some Lockettes action here. We got to talk about a rookie that's rising up in the ranks here. We have Lola the Adventurer going up against Adrian Mascara.
I like Adrian.
I do too.
Spitfire.
You know what I like about this match?
Some moxie.
We saw a lot of Lola's technical ability in this match that we don't get to see that often. Most of these Lockettes matches lately with Lilith and JC, and they've just been violence and lots of hard hitting and strikes and punches. This was more of a technical match. This had more of your lockups, your chain wrestling. We saw the ending was great with the crucifix. We see a lot of, counters and stuff. And I think this is something that goes underlooked with Lola when she's in there with all these big powerhouses that are in the Lockettes division now, is that Lola can go. Mascara can go too, as we find out tonight. I mean, she's rising up. And I wonder though, Marky, this is my concern with Mascara. Is she going to run into the same thing Lola is, where you're a really good technical wrestler and you know how to chain wrestle, but you lack that power that every other woman in the division has?
I think that'll be something that she learns as she goes down the road. She's very new. She's getting a hold of all these very much more experienced, like their XP bars are 10, 15, 20 times bigger than hers with JC and Lilith and Lola and even Noelle to an extent. The Marionette herself, with how far she's come in the year that since she's come out of the Al Snow Wrestling Academy and earned her shirts. I don't know so much if right now she could compete power for power with some of these more powerful Lockettes, but I think that she's been behind the scenes watching and training and learning some of the moves that can kind of get you out of maybe some of those big power moves. She shows quite a bit of adaptability. She shows a lot of good ways to escape from certain moves. Like, she's very crafty. with her offense. And I really like to see this. That she's somebody who's been paying mind to all the times that we have seen Lola versus Lilith on Ignition. That war that has been the two of those Lockets through 2022 and continuing into 2023. Adrian Mascara is on pace to have something very special happen to her. I think she's well on her way. Although, boys, we have to talk about the finish to this match. I did not get to watch Ignition live on Thursday night. The bowling alley was extremely busy. But next thing you know, I get a notification from Twitter that Preston Oblinier Skidmore himself decided to tweet about the end of this match and about how he disagrees that Lola's shoulders had come off the mat when Ref Spicer counted to 3. Now, I will be the first guy to say that it was extremely close. Watching it the other day and then watching it back again today before we did the show, it was extremely close. I challenge Preston Oblinier Skidmore, that POS himself, to do a better job as a referee in any match, because we all know he's faking the hell out of the wheelchair.
Oh, don't say any match.
I challenge you.
Any non-law office match.
Okay, well done, sir. Well done. I challenge Preston Oblinier Skidmore to put on the purple of a Rocky Mountain referee and go in and referee a match that does not involve the law office. And you do a better job.
Mm-hmm.
Mistakes may happen.
I think he should go to referee school. I think he should go train for a day with the referees.
I think he'd learn something.
Mm-hmm.
That you don't just get your way by going on Twitter and screaming and yelling about it.
Well, that's what he does best.
I think
it was quite caring of him, really.
It really is. Had he not been such a dink to
very Curtis Cole of him.
You're wicked. Had he not been such a dink to Danger Dean over the last month or so on Charge, if you've been watching about JK Pop getting their rematch and stuff, maybe you'd have an open door with El Presidente Peligro himself, and maybe he'd be willing to sit down and have a conversation with you. If you tried that avenue once or twice, you may find out that you catch more flies with honey instead of vinegar.
But Preston doesn't want to have a conversation. He just wants you to listen. Conversations are two-way streets. Both people talk.
Do you see how much Danger Dean enjoys those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious
and
to
it sucks
see.
that you...
I'm curious to see how JK Pop feels about Preston being more focused on Lola than they are of JK Pop right now.
I'm starting to wonder how Johnny Casanova feels about Caden and his manager being more focused on Lola than they are about wrestling.
True.
Because as of right now, POS has a huge binder full of complaints for El Presidente to look over on Lola's case, but not JK Pop's case.
We haven't seen.
Well, JK Pop's case is closed.
It should be closed.
It has to be closed. They got that rematch and they lost, and that's the end of that. Just the fact that they got a rematch in and of itself was so
because
generous.
that's against the rules too, and they still got the rematch.
Well, at least it's not a rule that you get a guarantee.
Yeah, but
rematch.
now it's Wonka finalized. You lose.
Yeah.
You get nothing. Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. Correct. Yes.
Now the question is it as La Isla are the champions, or are they banned from competing for the tag team titles ever again?
I think it's while La Isla are champion.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If La Isla loses the belts to somebody else,
I wasn't 100% sure yet.
Up. No, I believe like if you're starting lineup, if Gino Rivera and Nathan Estrada, who won that tag team,
it's Brett Buff Shea now.
Yeah, Brett Buff Shea.
Okay, you don't know if any of them takes the titles. Now JK Pop can go back after.
Well, here's what I worry about. JK Pop now has incentive to pay close attention and maybe help whoever is facing La Isla.
I wouldn't put
whether they like it or not.
I wouldn't put that past them at all. We've seen JK Pop show up in La Isla tag team matches.
Ask Echo how that works out in title matches.
Huh?
Ask Echo how that works out in title matches they're not involved in.
Yeah, tell me about it. I don't think we've heard the last of JK Pop. Just because we haven't seen them or talked to them in a while, I don't think we've seen the last of them when it comes to messing with La Isla's business.
All right. You guys all set? Actually, you know what? Let's keep it on this match real quick because we've been talking about Lola during the course of our discussion here. Let's talk about Adrian Mascara. Coming out of nowhere as a rookie here and starting to pull up wins, more wins than, as of right now, Mick Diamond currently. In the brief time that she's been on the roster. What are your thoughts on
wrong.
Adrian?
I'm very impressed. Like I said, really like the chain wrestling. Think the ground game is definitely the strong point. But again, in a division that's dominated by powerful women like JC, Lilith, Skylar Slice, we go Malaya Hosaka, and Miranda Gordy when she comes back, they all hit very, very hard. That has been Lola's problem as well, is how do you offset the power? It's the only thing I think that she needs is how to offset this power.
And I think that she'll be able to learn how to overcome that the first time she gets hit that hard. Like they say, you don't really get into the fight until you get hit, right? Like the first time you get hit and you get your bell rung, you're like, okay, here we go. I think when she does start having matches and does get in there with like more than once or twice, with Lilith, with JC, with Skylar Slice, she's going to find out that she's going to have to start doing more than just crucifix pins and things like that. She's well on her way. She's come out of the school onto TV with the tools. Now she has to just adapt and sharpen them to her technical ability. And I think that's something that only experience can give. And I think we're going to watch her grow like very, very brightly. Like she's going to grow and become one of the stars of the Lockettes division in 2020. I do think that we're going to see some great things out of her this year.
All right. Moving on here. We're halfway through. And yes, we have to talk about the situation that's unfolding here. Bruce Wayans versus Remy D with a bounty of 3 points in this match. All right. Now I want to hear your thoughts on the other half of this duo. And Bruce Wayans picking up a count-out win and now becoming a number one contender for the Ignition title, reaching 6 points, not 5, but 6 points. Probably the highest point total that we've had thus far.
It is.
So this one I really have to, and God, I hope I'm not wrong, but I really have to think Bruce had no idea of what was going to happen based on what happens at the end of Ignition, and we'll get there. Because Atiba played a huge role in this, as we saw, taking Remy's feet out from under him, causing the count-out victory, which gets Bruce that number one contender shot. This, I think, was manipulated from the start. Now, Bruce didn't seem super upset. That's the other thing, Marky. And you said earlier you would like to have 5 minutes of Bruce's time to ask him about all this. What do you think he'd be a little more upset? I mean, he got a win over Remy D, who, much like David Drake, has not really been pinned since Milestone.
That's true. Right.
And hasn't really lost. That's why, and this is a big loss, I will say, because it does break a momentum, and it was 3 points. But I think Bruce isn't as unhappy as he'd like everyone to think he is, that he has now a number one contender.
I'm willing to completely agree with you. If we saw the end of this match, we're going to go back to where both of the competitors were standing up on the apron. Bruce hit a couple forearm shots. Remy's standing there, but he's kind of reeling a little bit. Boss went to go sit up on the top rope, maybe to come down with a double axe handle or something off the second, onto the apron. Boss has all kinds of offense that he likes to do off the corner turnbuckles. We know that. Remy fires up, and I think it was a big kick to the side, and he kicks Boss back into the ring, landed on his head. And Eli being like ref on the spot, checking him out, making sure that everything's good after all the garbage Derek Stone's been throwing at him. Ref Eli's still on top of his game. Eli, I got you back, bro. We stick together. But while ref is checking out Boss, as Remy's going to try to get back into the ring, Atiba messes with his feet and takes his feet out from under him, and Remy goes face plant on the apron, which we all know is the hottest part of the ring. And Remy rolls out to the floor. Ref sees what's going on and starts counting. I'm going to go one of two ways with it. You could look at this and say, if you're an excuse maker for Atiba and those guys, you could say that Boss landed on his head and he had no idea and he was still gonged and he didn't know what was going on. And Eli told him he won and it is what it is. Or two, this is Atiba doing Atiba things, which I'm surprised he didn't uppercut him. But at the same time, I think this is honestly, I think this was Atiba giving one to Bruce. I don't think Bruce had any idea that this was coming, to be honest. Now, I know I was critical of Bruce in the last match. What are you doing up on the apron in the match with Brew and Atiba? But at this point in time, when I was watching, I don't think that this is how Bruce wanted to win, but I also think that he knows he won. He knows he got 3 points, and now this makes him a number one contender for Zamora's Ignition Championship. So after this long, fall from grace that he had when he lost to David Drake and lost the RMP Championship, to now this road to recovery where he's been dealing with all this garbage with Atiba in this subservient 30-day thing, that now he's worked his way back up and now he finds himself on top of the Ignition point standings as a number one contender for Ignition Championship. I could see how he'd have mixed feelings about what happened, but in the end, he still walks away as the number one contender for the champion. So, again, I go back to a lot of what you said, Coastal. Was there something in the back that was said? Was there something? Was this a plan? Was it supposed to go to the outside of the ring? This
Well,
is
let
only
me
something
ask
that
this.
time can explain.
Let me ask this, and we'll do one question for each side here.
Yep.
First question. Is the conspiracy theory true that Bruce Wayans and Atiba are playing every single one of us?
Yes.
Probably. I'm still holding a little bit of faith and hope in my man, the final boss, Bruce Waynes, that it's no. But each week, like the 8-ball, Magic 8-ball used to say when the kids don't remember Magic 8-balls, but we remember. One of the things it would say is all signs point to yes. The signs are pointing week to week.
If it looks like a duck, it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. Typically not a goose. Really hoping it's a goose. But we'll find out, won't we?
And on a flip,
I mean, after... Okay,
go ahead. No. Go ahead. Finish
I
up.
was going to say, because after all of this, right, we've seen Boss fight all of this Atiba stuff, right? We've seen Boss get absolutely livid, pissed off at Atiba for making him hand wash all his individual headbands only when the sun's up and all, washing his car, and just all of the garbage that Atiba has been flowing downhill onto Bruce Wayne's head. But Bruce has been winning. And Bruce got himself into a spot where tonight, Thursday, if he won, he becomes a number one contender for the title. And look what happened.
It's very Mr. Miyagi of Atiba. You figure he put Danielson through a whole bunch of misery to show him that he could be great.
It's true. Why am I painting the fence? And then every one of those turned into a block, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And on the flip side of things, you have Remy D. You saw his look after that match.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think's going through his mind right now, knowing that he just lost against Bruce Wayans, and now he's going into peak of the pack, more than likely going to have to defend his charge championship to somebody? How do you think this loss affects him, knowing that there's more than a few people gunning out for him as of right now?
Remy is mad at Bruce, but Remy is going to beat the wings off the Rocky Mountain Dragon.
I think you're right.
When he gets a hold of Atiba, he going to beat the wings off him.
I don't think he has too much against Bruce in this situation, because him and Bruce were having a fantastic match.
Absolutely.
Against each other. These are two guys that know each other very, very well and have had great battles all the way up and down the road with each other. Atiba decided to stick his hands where they didn't belong and involve himself in a match that had huge implications, not just for Bruce Wayne's, but for the entire Ignition roster.
Now, do you blame Atiba, though?
Do I blame Atiba?
Do you blame
If I'm Atiba, no.
if you're Atiba and the guy who is your subservient is currently, and we all know what Atiba's plan was at the end of it all.
Right.
But before that situation happened, obviously Atiba had a plan, and he was going to use that against Bruce Waynes if Bruce Waynes won the match. Do you blame Atiba still, knowing what his plan was?
We know Atiba is all about Atiba.
Yeah.
We've known this ever since Casanova put that bug in his head a long time ago to make him start going lower and with the uppercuts. And once Atiba saw that it started winning and now his stock was rising, you could see the switch in Atiba. We hear it in his entrance music now. It's all about Atiba now. He comes in, he don't care about the faithful. He don't care about nobody. He's only out there for Atiba. And I do think he has some love for Bruce Waynes because they've been a tag team for a long time. They've been in factions together. They were Chopper City. They were the Black Horsemen. They were together for a long, long time. I do believe there's love there. But I believe that Atiba's love for himself is at the top of all of it. And like you said, we're going to find out at the end of the show that Atiba tried pulling a wicked fast one. He tried banging a Yui on Bruce Wayne's wicked late at the nth hour. And it didn't end up working so good. So Atiba had a plan. However, it still brings a belt close to him. If Bruce Wayne wins. If he wins, and I know Zamori's in chat right now, he probably wants to punch me in the face for this.
Right.
But if Bruce manages to win and bring the Ignition Championship near Atiba, that is what they like to call tackling fuel for Atiba to maybe want to go forward and bring a belt that may be bigger than the Ignition title, say, I don't know, the Charge Championship, and bring that home. So now Chopper City are both individual champions, but Atiba has the belt that's like maybe one rung higher. I don't know. I don't know what his motivations are. All we know is that they are for himself.
I can tell you right now, you're not going to be in the business just for putting smiles on faces. That's one part of it, but you're also here to win championships as well.
Very true. Very true. However, if you manipulate your way there, you're going to piss off a lot of people, and a lot of other people are going to make it really hard for you to be able to put gold around your waist. It's awfully hard to put a belt around your waist with a broken shoulder.
Edge found a way to do it.
He did. With a broken freaking neck.
Edge, not Angle.
No, he did it too.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah. Well, fused.
Still broken.
All right. Moving on.
This is a developing story, though. That's nowhere near over.
No, not at all.
No. And for Remy D's sake, you piss off Remy D, you know what you're going to get the next time around.
The Beast, not the Beauty. Oh, the Beauty will show up, but as soon as the entrance music shuts off, the Beast will wrestle you, and you will have a hot time.
The other half of your reigning tag team champions was also in action on Thursday. We had Balaam Lynx going up against a newcomer to Rocky Mountain Pro, Cushman. Rocky Pince's favorite wrestler.
He is not my favorite wrestler. Okay? We may have...
Cushman!
Look, Cushman and I may have very, very similar interests in life.
The Crusader as well.
Correct. We have very, very similar interests. I guarantee you he is married and has a kid or two and understands the fantastic value of medicinal herbal supplements.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Okay. And I admire his brand of eye drop. We use the exact same brand. Very, very effective. As they say in Pokemon, it's super effective. Super effective. Tonight, Cushman
was not super effective.
No, he wasn't super effective, but he was fairly effective against Balaam Lynx. Like, he did not come out and get destroyed. He came out and had some offense. Good sign of respect in the beginning. There was a little fist pound between the two. But Balaam Lynx goes right to the quick offense, the patented offense, the arm drags, takes control, big chops in the corner. And one of the chops, he hit him so hard that he chopped the last bit of smoke that Cushman was hanging on to. He must have took one rip right before he come out of the back, and Lynx just chopped that whole puff right out. We see the smoke come out of him. Took all the air out of his lungs with that one.
Absolutely.
You know, Cushman find ways, though, of getting in a little bit of offense, gets out of the way in a corner, gets Lynx in a big bulldog, gets a near fall out of it. But then Balaam Lynx just kind of ends up taking control, dodges a clothesline, beautiful nip up, back elbow, nice side kick while he's down. And then we see a gorgeous top rope leg drop that I think, unfortunately, Balaam Lynx is a 1/4 inch shorter right now from that leg drop. But man, was that super effective. Let me tell you that much. That was super effective enough to get the win. And Balaam Lynx looking like a rock star out there with his partner Echo out there to have his back and take him out. And Echo wearing the finest shirt in all of professional wrestling right now. That's why I had to wear it.
That is true. It is quite the wardrobe. I like it.
I absolutely love it. My kids popped like crazy when I opened the box. They absolutely love the shirt. It's fantastic. But no, Balaam Lynx gets a good win here. Coastal La Isla goes 1 for 1 tonight. However, they both wrestled very, very different levels of opponent. Let's just be honest about the given situation. But, excuse me, we hear the promo afterwards, and I don't think any of it bothered La Isla. I think they're on the same page that they were when they walked into Ignition tonight as when they walked out.
Yeah, they both like having gold. It's been a while since either one of them have had gold, and they're planning on keeping it for a while. And even though Echo lost tonight, he lost to the champ. I mean, he lost to, somebody who hasn't been pinned in pretty much a year. And Balaam looked incredible in this win tonight. He looked crisp. He looked fast. They looked as dominant as they could in coming out 1-1. Let's face it, if they'd come out 2-0 tonight, we'd be having a conversation about maybe why are they the tag champs and why does Echo get a single shot now? Like, this was actually can keep them very focused. It was very well done. They were there for each other in both match. I absolutely think that they are on the same page, and those belts are going to stay there for a very long time. A JK Pop length of time, possible.
It's possible with that talent.
The chemistry, the cohesion, the friendship, the
focus.
The focus, that's the word. That's the word with each other. They're both of their sets of eyes are set on the exact same prize. It was winning the belts before, but now it's being the unit that is La Isla to not lose the belts to anybody coming.
All right. Enough said. Moving on to your main event of the evening. This was your hoss fight of the evening, that is for sure.
Yeah, she was. Oh, boy.
We had Damon Ace going up against your reigning Ignition champion Zamora in a 3-point bounty match set by President Dean. Boys, what did you think about this main event from both sides of the spectrum?
Coastal, lead us off here, big guy. Let us know what you thought of this whole mess.
This means a couple of different things for each guy. This match was, what is it that Big E likes to say? Big, meaty men slapping meat.
That's right.
It was
a lot of slapping, yep.
The chops. I mean, Marky probably had some PTSD. I know it's been almost 2 years now, but
I think Zamora has some. I think Zamora has some PTSD right about now with the amount of times he's been chopped over the past few weeks.
Oh man,
cash flow, bro. A couple weeks ago. Oh my god.
But let's look at Zamora. Powering through, coming out, not backing down from Damon, not, weathering the storm, weathering the brutality, and coming out with Marky. Would you call this the biggest win of Zamora's current tenure?
I would call this his biggest statement win.
Yes.
This win to me, and I was going to say this at the end, this is a statement from Zamora to anybody in the locker room that thinks that they're going to come out and just have a match and not have like the best match of their life in order to have a shot of taking that title off of his waist. Damon freaking Ace came out, who is an absolute unit of a human being, let alone of a professional wrestler, and came out and threw everything he had. Zamora kicked out of a persona non grata. Enough said. Enough said. If you're anybody in the locker room, like next to nobody has kicked out of Damon's persona. Like that's it. That's the end of the match. When you get hit with that, it's all but over. Zamore kicks out of that. Now, don't get me wrong. They both took turns kicking out of each other's moves. Like, Damon kicked out of the big Samoan drops and everything. Like, okay, fine, here we go. But this is big for Zamore to come out on the end, to hit that second Samoan at the end, and then the big splash from the top rope. Look, it's going to take everything you have to beat Damon Ace. Tonight, Zamore brought every single tool in the box to the match, to Damon directly, and got a statement win over the weapon.
Now,
not too many people have the ability to say that.
Now let's flip the coin. And I'm going to look around, make sure Damon's not anywhere around here. Let's go down memory lane here. Since January. Or even before that, we'll go all the way back. Since last year, before Milestone, Damon loses the charge type. Then he can't beat Balaam
last year,
yep.
Yes.
Because of his head.
Then he can't beat Balaam.
Right.
Then he doesn't win a Milestone.
Yep.
Then he loses to Yaden.
Yep.
Multiple
then he
times.
beats Bruce. Then he beats Bruce.
Well, the first one was a draw.
But then he loses to
And he
Yaden.
lost.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
He loses again tonight.
Yep.
What's up with Damon Ace? He's dominant. He's strong. He's scary, but
it weren't the Wake the ones that told
effective.
us. Wasn't the Wake back when the Wake was a thing and they had everything. They had all the power. They had all the titles. They were running right. Wasn't it all about the wins?
Yeah.
Didn't they say all the time, a win is a win. We don't care how we get wins. We just win. We always win.
Damon's not winning right now.
No.
With all due respect to Damon Ace, and I respect the man. He's a monster. He's terrifying. You step in that ring with him, you are going to get beat up. I don't care if you win, but you're going to get beat up.
Fact.
But he's not coming out on the plus side of these beatdowns anymore. What needs to change for Damon Ace to get back to elite level? Because I feel like he's sliding down the mountain a little bit right now.
I really think that Damon is what we call a one-track mind kind of guy. I think Damon has Yaden on the brain. Yaden is living rent-free in Damon Ace's head. We've been watching them going back and forth against each other. We saw the beating that happened in the Wimmer in the empty arena when they were talking. Damon came to see him, and they just fought all over the place. And Damon kind of walked out, I guess, taller, even worse for the wear, but still kind of walked out while Yaden was on the floor. I think he has Yaden on the brain, and I don't think that he could see past that until Damon feels that his story has been told, or until he feels it's over. And not that that's a problem, because I got a funny feeling that Yaden will fight him until the cows come home, because they have a good chemistry and they can fight. Yaden will bring the fight to Damon Ace, as we've seen many, many times. But I don't think that Damon is going to let this go until he finally gets that win. He's that guy that lost 87 times in gym class. Like, you played basketball and his team lost. You played floor hockey and his team lost. And then the next day you guys went out and played stickball and his team lost. But when he beat you at tic-tac-toe that one day it was raining.
It was the World Series.
The guy celebrated like he won the Super Bowl. I think Damon has some of that. We've always seen him be a terrible loser, but like the best winner in the world, and will tell you everything. I feel like this is what we have going on here. He still has Yaden on the brain, and I don't think he's looking clearly at what's in front of him unless it's Mercury Yaden.
Yep.
I might pay for that. Next time I see Damon Ace, I might pay for that. But he's got to look himself in the mirror tomorrow and go, damn it, I think he's right.
You put up some points. It's hard to argue.
Can't argue with the win-loss record, or in this point, just the losses.
I mean, granted, it was against the Ignition champion, so he lost to a champion. However, I would have not have expected Zamore to kick out of the persona non grata. And
I exploded. I exploded when I saw that.
Was able to pick up the win.
top rope splash.
It was an amazing sight to see.
We saw a superplex in that match.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
We saw a top rope splash in that match, a couple Samoan drops.
And then we see Atiba come out and run his gums at the end of the match.
Chops. Oh my God. Yeah, this knucklehead came
Yeah,
back
we need
out.
to talk about that.
Coastal, go ahead. Keep it going.
I have a special word for him. It's a chuckle, but we can't say that on YouTube because we'll get in trouble.
You can chuckle nuts.
Chuckle nuts, whatever. He comes out and he thinks that Bruce apparently gifted him his number one contender shot at Zamora.
Yeah.
How nice of Bruce, huh? That was very nice.
He found out about it right there, too.
Yeah, that was real nice of Danger Dean to be on top of that. Dean, you work long hours, and we appreciate it, so you could make a ruling on that immediately. Because that ain't how things work, is it, Marky? That's not how things work here at Rocky Mountain. You don't just get to take, and I'm going to say take, other people's title shots because they are in servitude of you.
You can make them do your laundry.
Right.
You can make them wash your car. You can make them go get you a cup of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. I don't care. You can't go stealing the man's title shot, whether or not you interjected yourself in that match or not.
Whether or not you helped him earn it.
That's overstepping. And I think Atiba finally dug himself a hole here, that he kind of realized that he had no choice but to eat a big piece of humble pie on this one. Because Arias Grace, the man who dresses the flashiest, the just the most beautiful ring announcer I've ever seen, the best wardrobe I've ever seen. And then another thing Derek Stone was way off about anyway. But I get some things about Derek Stone I want to get off my chest. But
now?
at the same time,
Right now?
No, not right now. Not right now. I want to talk about Arias because I love Arias. Arias has the best voice in Rocky Mountain Pro, the best ring announcer going right now. But Arias comes out after he gets a phone call from Danger Dean. And Danger Dean says, hell no, this won't go. Yeah. You do not get this. And next week, it will be Bruce Wayans versus Zamora. As it should. Correct. This is going to be out of the frying pan and directly back into the fire for our Ignition champion, Zamora, who I have to say, and I'm going to admit this right now, I was a bit skeptical of Zamora's new kind of ideals and ways that he's looking at things and trying to look at things with a more positive light. Because before he won that title, he was a walking wrecking machine that didn't care who he stepped on or who he walked over. Some of that might have been Bud Bellflower in his ear. But since he won, it seems as though his priorities have really changed. And I have to say, I am a complete believer at this point in time that Zamora is on the right path and he is doing all the right things to keep that and be a model superstar that you can look up to and be like, I like that guy. I want to be like that guy. I want to be a champion like that guy. And Zamora is carrying himself like that. And he and Bruce are two more that have been up and down this road many, many times against each other. With each other, against each other, doesn't matter. These two know each other very, very well. This is going to be an absolute duke it out until nobody can stand up next week hoss fight. You go from Damon Ace to Bruce Wayans. You get through both of those, you are one of the most serious champions in the year, my friend.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. And later on after that, we find out that thanks to the Rocky Mountain Pro faithful that we have here on YouTube, we now get to see a live shaving of Eli's facial hair.
Hi. Poor Eli.
Derek Stone.
Here we go.
I want to say something to Derek Stone right now. So this was very reminiscent of Derek Stone tries to be a very positive guy. If you follow him on social media, he's always talking about being very, very positive and keeping things upbeat and trying to be a good person every day. And I admire that. That should be the goal of humanity. Be a good person today so you can be better tomorrow. That should be one of your goals every day when you wake up. No,
Amen.
We're not talking. Huh?
Amen.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. However, then Derek Stone gets out there and Derek Stone decides to tell the Rocky Mountain Pro universe and faithful about how much he hates Ref Eli's goatee and his beard. This coming from a guy who hasn't shaved his beard in 14 years. He's trying to have the kid who's in the ring every night, reffing all the matches. He's got himself a goatee. It's clean. It's well kept. It's trimmed. It looks good. He's got far less gray in his than I do in mine. However, he's doing the right thing. And Derek Stone, I mean, I understand the faithful are the best, and everybody come up huge with the super chats, and we love the Rocky Mountain Pro faithful, because the faithful took pleasure in my misery a few weeks ago when we got the gifted subs and stuff, and I had to eat a pineapple pizza, and that was fine. I caused my own misery, and I ate the pizza, and we got through it. Derek Stone decides to do it so that he interferes and messes with somebody else's life, somebody else's own individual choice. This coming from a guy that walks around with a broom.
Derek, this coming from a guy who not only walks around with a broom, but wears Bret Hart's camper carpet as a vest.
I really don't. He doesn't like Van Morrison either, Lucas. What the hell is wrong with him? I don't know how to take this guy. He says one nice thing 3 seconds about us, and then he says something nasty about it. I don't know. Yeah. I don't understand. Like this, and we've seen him even talking with the other OGs and going into the past. The guy's not all there, man. He's playing with 45 cards 1 second. Then he's got 52 for 3.5 seconds. And then he busted out, and he's got no cards left.
Then he's just got the rules and the Joker cards.
I don't know. I don't know where his head is at, but all I know is he took great pleasure. He made Eli so upset that Eli took his ref shirt off in the ring and threw it in the ring and stormed out. Stone. Why? You have no idea who his brother and sister is. You think Alice is his sister and everything else, and you're talking all this smack. And then you get the Rocky Mountain Pro faithful to start super chatting and everything, and just so they could shave his goatee. And I saw the comments in the chat. They were funny, and everything was good. But now the kid has to shave his own goatee because you didn't like it.
Well, it'll grow back.
I understand that, but that's not the point. It probably took the thing up. It probably took Eli like 6 months to grow that goatee, okay? It probably grew it. You know, when we're younger, it took us a lot longer to grow decent facial hair. It's the truth. Eli looks like he's like 17. So, I mean, you know, it probably took him a while to grow it. And now you're going to cut it off because you don't. Why don't you shave your beard? Why don't one of these nights we do a thing where if we get the same $50 in Super Chat, Eli has to shave Derek Stone's beard.
Oh, actually... That is wow.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
Two can play that game.
That's what I'm thinking. He wanted to steal my idea.
At least we need to have a charity we could donate this to. We could do it for charity. Mr. Stone, he wants to be positive. Let's positively shave his goatee.
Did Eli know about this?
I doubt it, because if you look at his face, he looked like he had no idea what was going on. I think he thought it was a joke, because at the end of these matches here, he was smiling as Stone was giving him some grief back and forth. But then he got to a point where he ripped his shirt off and jumped out of the ring and went to the back. I think he pissed him off pretty good. Be careful, Stone. If you ever come back into the ring, Eli could be one of your referees, dude. We don't forget
3 counts. 1.5, 0.3.
Eli has no idea. Maybe sometime soon. Dude. Actually, you know what? Next week we have a membership-only live stream.
Ooh.
With Noel.
Oh.
Maybe secretly, without Derek Stone knowing, we do the same thing.
I don't know, Stone. I'm a fan of your commentary. I like watching. We can play.
Good fan. As much I'm a fan of his commentary. I like his in-ring stuff. He's a good wrestler, old school guy. I like it, but boy, his opinions leave something to be desired.
There you go, folks. Next week.
We listen.
Next, calling us his fifth favorite show.
Well, we were his first, and then we didn't have a show, so now we're his fourth. But we are the only one in town tonight, so we are the one and only show here on Sunday night. So
at least we know Derek Stone always carries a calculator to minus 5 minus 1.
All right. So next Thursday, you'll see Eli get his goatee shaved off live on Ignition.
Ooh.
Not a fan. Not a fan of this.
We can work on something.
Not a fan of this.
We can figure something
Save
out.
the goat. Save the goat.
All right. We're going to wrap this up, and we're going to get to the second half of the show, which is going to be the rewind portion. Before we get into that, let's have an update on the point standings. Mr. Marky Pins, if you don't mind.
Yes. So, we have Bruce Waynes, after winning that match tonight, puts himself in a number one contender situation against Zamore next week. We have two superstars tied at 3 points. Atiba and Curtis Cole, who was not in action tonight. But Atiba gets that point for beating Brew earlier tonight. So Atiba and Curtis have 3. Brew is the sole superstar at 2. If he lost tonight, he was at 3. He gets bumped back down 1 to 2. Sky Horseman, again, not in action this evening at 1.
On Thursday.
And on Thursday, yeah. And I'm sorry. Panthro and Damon Ace are now at 0. Damon losing that match tonight. That absolute hoss fight of a beautiful match. That was an awesome match those two guys had against each other. But Damon lost, so he does lose that point. So he's now at 0. And everything below 0, none of those superstars were in action, so nothing changed. Kendrick LaRoe and Sergey are both sitting at -2. Abatu and Hazard are sitting at -3. And Mick Diamond did not lose a point this week. He did not lose a point. He is still sitting at -6.
Small victories. Small victories.
He is looking up the longest ladder at this point in time. However, Bruce Waynes is sitting there at the top of that ladder right now, and we're going to see that absolute battle of the Titans next week on Ignition.
And don't
Get
forget,
your popcorn, get a drink.
And don't forget, we have the winner of the Grand Prix tournament, Briscoe Crown, also having a number one contendership against Zamoria, whoever is the Ignition champion on the 20th.
On the week after, correct.
Yes.
Yes, that's why I didn't really want to go into, because now Bruce gets that title shot before Briscoe does, because we all know Briscoe Crown's leg and ankle and knee area were absolutely destroyed during the Grand Prix. Everybody saw that like it was an absolute target and just labeled it every single time they got in the ring with him. So he needed some time to recover. Zamore, being a solid dude, gave him that time. But in that time, Bruce Waynes managed to climb his way up with a little bit of help from his buddy, get that first title match before Briscoe does. So Briscoe will get the winner the week after of Zamore and Bruce Waynes next week.
All right. That's going to conclude this episode of Reignited. We should be back on schedule on Thursday. We shouldn't have to have any more of these issues. I had a long talk with my people over where I work here in the Northeast, and I think we've got everything squared away so that we don't have to miss any more ignitions.
It's the last one I'll miss.
That is right. You will be seeing the Coastal Crusader full time here on Reignited in a couple weeks.
Yay!
Get my
dude back together.
So
get my dude back. Yeah.
All
I
right.
miss you, buddy. I like doing the show with Johnny, but I miss you over here, bro.
Yeah, I see how it is.
I know.
I see how it is. It's all good.
No, dude, I love you, but I see you all the
You're
time.
the Venn diagram of how Marky and I overlap.
It's true.
The Venn diagram.
That's when the two circles.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
But it was. Listen, guy.
I thought he was asking for clarification.
God. All right. We are now here. We're going to flip everything over to the Rocky Mountain. Oh, Jesus Christ. Rocky Mountain Rewind, just like we promised. And we are going to be watching episode 9 of the first season of Charge. And this involves a steel cage match. You guys get to see some hard-hitting action this week. Don't forget, next week, of course, like we mentioned just a little while ago, we will have a member of the Asylum on next week for our membership only live chat. It is none other than the Marionette, Noel. Should be a very interesting interview, to say the least. And all you members of the RMP faithful will be the only ones that will be allowed to interact with the Marionette. This is your opportunity to get some questions answered. Hopefully.
Don't be scared. We are, but don't be.
I mean, I am a little bit. I'm not going to lie. This is as close as I ever want to be to the asylum.
Hey, I'm not asking the first question. I already said that doesn't go.
No, you better not. You better not.
That never goes well.
Never does. All right.
I thought
See
Ronan was
the
gonna
Ronan
kill me.
interview.
Yeah, I thought Ronan was great. You know, I just figured I'd get it out there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that really helped me asking the next question when he was like, oh, all right, well, I'm just going to bite you later. Mark, go ahead. I don't want to die.
All right.
Do you like wrestling?
Yeah.
I think I asked some stupid question like that. I didn't want to die.
Didn't you say that to
It went-
Lilith? Like the first time around?
It went from my first question to Ronan was, so when's Legion breaking up? And then
Yeah.
Mark was like, do you like wrestling?
Yeah. I'll keep it easy. How long have you been wrestling and why do you like it?
Yeah, way to piss off our guest right off the get-go, and that kind of set the tone for the entire evening, so...
But then we started talking about food and it smoothed everything over.
I
We
was a
found out
different
that
person
Ronan
at
was a
that
hell of
time.
a cook.
And
I
then,
was a Wake fan.
well, we also wanted... Well, Triple I wanted to join the Legion that night, too, so...
We should have let him.
Oh, that would be funny.
We should have let him. It would have been feeding time for
It would have
Abatu
been.
and Brew. It would have been feeding time.
Triple I in his moments during
It would have had burnt candy corn
interviews.
masala.
Was that when that came out?
No, that was
No, that was
late.
Halloween. That was Halloween.
That was Halloween?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was right around the
Alright.
time we were talking about like our favorite Halloween candies and stuff, and then
He
people
was
were
wearing
like, candy
orange
corn.
too that day, right? And
Yes,
that's
he
how we
was.
came up with it?
Mm-hmm.
God. Triple I. All right.
He really would look like a burned candy corn. Though.
You really were.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
All right. Let's say sayonara to the dudes here for a little while.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Konnichiwa. All right. Let's get to watch along up here. Oh, yeah. Just so you know, next Sunday, Noel, members only. Make sure you're
Yes.
there. All right. Let's get
Wear your
this-
members
Oh.
only jacket if you have one.
Which one is this? That's not it. There we go. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you Discord us?
Oh, son of
Well, it just
oh God! Give
You
me
know.
a second. Give me a second. God.
Well, I mean,
do I gotta text you
Yeah.
and let you know? Hey, by the way, share the screen when we all watch.
Yeah. I gotcha. Wait. Where do you?
Oh, there we are.
All right. Share the.
Oh, there we are again.
Screen. Why are you showing up? All right.
oh, hi again.
Get out of here. There we go. Boom.
Yeah,
Are we good now?
there we go.
Bad later. Yep.
You boys okay?
Yes, thank you very much. It's nice to watch it without lag.
Thanks, Dad.
Okay.
Thanks. Dad.
You're welcome, sons.
Please don't turn the computer around.
It's funny that we're dads, and we just said thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad.
All right. Ladies of the Steel Cage is the name of this episode.
Maki likey cage. Maki likey cage.
And here we go. Let me know about audios chat.
You know, I am the champ. I can make myself comfortable anywhere. Money helps a lot with that. Because that's why I wrestle. The way I see it,
You could probably
there's
turn
one
it up
way
a
to
little.
keep score in life. And that's money.
You knew about this
As high as it goes.
weeks ago, Sam. Now you're gonna tell me your book's somewhere else? Oh yeah, okay, bro. I understand business is business and money is money, but I'll tell you what, bro. You do what you gotta do. I'll do what I gotta do, and it starts with me stripping you of the title. How about that?
This is for the prize. This is for the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship, the most coveted title in the state of Colorado.
Gentlemen, the championship is now sugar-free.
If anyone has the chance to face me for this, it's Humphrey Jacobs the first. And I told him, Humphrey, pick any match of your choice! And if you win that particular match, you get a rematch for the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship.
Humphrey Jacobs has done it.
Bunkhouse Brawl, he is now again the #1 contender for the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship. This is huge.
But when it comes down to it, the most important thing to me, #1 to me, is keeping the Rocky Mountain Pro Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, Stephen Ashburn's attacking the cameraman. What is going on with Stephen Ashburn?
You're messing with my livelihood, man. The only reason why I don't kill you right now is because you're my friend.
You don't know money when you see it, do you?
But the point of a wrestling match is to win the wrestling match, and when you're putting your own tag team partner at risk, that is what we call selfish.
We got a pen.
There it is.
Ashburn is crazy.
Since you've got here, you've messed with my career, you've messed with my friendship. Me and Stephen Ashburn, we're the best tag team in this place. You come along with your ratings, okay? And you get in Stephen Ashburn's head. Now I can't even talk to the guy. He attacked me after our match.
I don't like being threatened, bro. Maybe it's the New Yorker in me. I don't know what it is. I don't like being threatened.
It's that student from earlier
That's yours.
that's recruited.
I don't like being threatened.
You go start the car. Here, take my bag. Take my bag. What you doing out here, dog? Kind of creepy. Son of a...
Mario Vanger is a gift to humanity. I
Mario's
say it every
great.
week. I say it every week, and I mean it every week.
We're gonna find
Where is he?
We're gonna find Russo.
I don't care about Russo. Listen to me. I don't care about Russo. I want that mice and men looking Lenny piece of trash. I want him. He's the one that laid me out.
Look, he works for Russo. He works for Russo. We're finding Vince right now. We're gonna settle it.
All right,
now.
fine.
Let's
As
find
long
him.
as I get my hands
We're gonna
on
take care of it right now.
Tell me.
We're gonna go find Vince.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rocky Mountain Pro Charge.
There's your
Pro
cage,
Wrestling
Marky.
Elevated. We are back, Big Rob, at the Quarry in Golden, Colorado. All these screaming fans behind us, they are ready to see some action. And speaking of action, we are going to start them off tonight with the first ever steel cage match in Rocky Mountain Pro history, and it's for the Lockettes Championship.
I'm gonna say it out loud.
is taking on now champion Nanny AC.
This is what I asked for
Say
Christmas.
that again?
It's why I'm celebrating Christmas.
I'm gonna
here
wait.
tonight.
Hang on.
I know it's past, but tonight it's happening. First ever steel cage match in Rocky Mountain Pro history. And man, it's going to be a crazy one. Nanny AC, Aligato, I cannot wait.
Then you have the Left Coast Gorillas. They're taking on Warren Cadence and the Show Dwayne Douglas. I don't know. The Show Dwayne Douglas and Warren Cadence really have their work cut out for them against Left Coast Gorillas
It's
tonight.
definitely going to be a big match, and then we're going to wrap it up our main event tonight. Stephen Ashburn versus Curtis Cole for the Charged Championship. That's going to be our main event here tonight. After we kick it off with the main event at the beginning of the
It's
night.
unbelievable. We've got a main event at the beginning. We've got a main event at the end. Curtis Cole has defended that Charged title with honor, but now he has to go against the loose cannon, Stephen Ashburn.
And this place is crazy tonight. It is charged inside of the Rocky Mountain Pro Quarry. We are getting crazy here tonight. Look at how crazy this crowd is getting behind us. Steel cage match is on the way in a couple minutes.
Speaking of crazy, though, let's go look at the history between Aligato and the crazy one on Holy Trinity. Ladies and gentlemen, more Rocky Mountain Pro Charge coming up next. Superflex here. Another
Into a DDT.
Mercury Yaden is one of the most underrated commentators in the business. That's what I was going to say. I didn't want to talk over him.
I've seen guys paralyzed in the ring, and
no disqualification match for the #1 contender. The lights are completely off right now. Who is that? Who is that in the ring? That is the former Lockettes champion. That is Angel Trinity, looking very different from the last time we've seen her.
Trinity making an appearance. And look who's laid out in the middle of the ring. She's got the cover, hooks the leg. Oh, now that, gentlemen, is what you call an upset.
I didn't lose my title, okay? Freaking Angel Trinity made me. She got in the way. I don't know what she's doing back. What the hell? That's unholy.
That is freaky.
No thanks.
Yeah, no.
You knew it was going to happen. You knew it was just a matter of time. I don't know what got into this girl. I don't know who spoke to her.
This is kind of Alligato's creation, is Unholy Trinity.
But I guess she made the decision she was going to be bullied no more.
There she is, boss. You know, I asked for her for Christmas. I didn't quite get it, but this match is something I did ask for Christmas.
Unbelievable.
I cannot be more excited for this match. I told you at the beginning of the show, that's why I'm wearing this shirt. It's Christmas after Christmas, and this cage match fired up Rocky Mountain Pro tonight. I just can't believe it.
You're as excited as everybody else here. Opening up Rocky Mountain Pro charged with a steel cage Lockettes championship matchup is unheard of, and we're bringing it to you right here on the Realm Network. Now, Nanny AC has been very, very, very unlikely to win the Lockettes championship. She just started her path in professional wrestling. This is only her 5th professional wrestling match, her 5th official match. She is defending the Rocky Mountain Pro Lockettes championship inside of a steel cage here at the Quarry. Unheard of. The quickest rise to a championship I think I've ever seen.
And to do a match this early in your career inside of a steel cage potentially can be the end match at that point.
Absolutely.
Steel cage match for the Rocky Mountain Pro Lockettes championship. First, the challenger, hailing from the north side.
Former champion Alligato looking to regain her Lockettes championship tonight here in the steel cage.
Boy, and she looks confident.
Hailing from Grand Junction, Colorado. She is your Rocky Mountain Pro Lockettes champion,
Nanny AC suffered a broken nose and continued to move on several weeks ago. This is one tough girl, and she is going to step up, I believe, here in the steel cage. But she's got her work cut out for her with Alligato. Definitely the more experienced of the two of them here.
And being a former champion gives you kind of the edge, especially, you know, as experienced as you've mentioned as Alligato is. This could be bad for Nanny AC, honestly.
Locking the cage now so they can't get out. You must climb out. You must get out of the cage to win. No pinfalls, no submissions. You must escape the cage to win this match.
That's how I like my cage matches.
Yes.
I hate cage matches where you can win by a pinfall. That's stupid.
He must not be a locksmith, Cotton.
No, definitely not. I think he figured it out. And here we go, Big Rob. Lockettes action. Championship matchup to start out pro.
They were a lot nicer to the timekeeper than Bruce was at Milestone this year, Mark. You didn't ring the bell.
I was a little distracted at the moment. D'Lo Brown said, "Hey, can I see that title, please?" And I was answering D'Lo Brown, and I missed my cue.
But it was D'Lo. It's a lot.
And that's what I said to Boss later. I'm like, "I'm sorry, Boss, but it was D'Lo." And he's like, "That's all right. You're still a sucker, though." And I took that. I was okay with that.
Not a good start here for Nanny AC. If she really wanted an opportunity to win this matchup, I really think she had to come out of the gate swinging. Slapped her in the beginning, but couldn't handle the boot to the gut. Now into the cage and a big back elbow.
Oh. Look at her wiping her feet with her, saying does she think it's over already? I think we're a long ways from over tonight.
I think Alligato thought this thing was over before she even got in the cage. Very, very confident. No, she believes, she has told us multiple times, right into the corner there, that this was a fluke win for Nanny AC.
You know, and maybe it was, I don't know.
Right to the gut.
Unholy Trinity, though, had a lot to do with it. And
that was one thing about Allie. She was ruthless.
That she is the more experienced
Yes.
And definitely, I have to say, the favorite to win in any matchup. She's going to be in there with Nanny AC. Again, I said 5th pro wrestling. Oh, right into the cage, right into where the steel bar comes across. 5th professional wrestling contest.
That cameraman's taking an awfully big risk being in there. These two.
He drew the short straw.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Nanny AC now, she wants to get out
right.
in a hurry. She knows that the longer this goes, the more it favors, the more experienced. Aligato kicks the ground right.
Oh, that looked gnarly.
Boy, it looked like that, or that right leg.
That made my knee hurt.
Yeah, that looked gnarly right there.
Aligato now back in control.
Boy, this crowd is just
Oh,
crazy. They are loving this
just
match.
chucking her into the cage.
Loving this match, though.
For this being the first cage match, Aligato definitely knows how to use the cage to her advantage.
Extremely effectively.
Absolutely.
And the
Oh.
girls, the Rockettes, are kicking it off tonight. Holy smokes.
See her elbow hit right on that pole?
Yeah.
Now she's going to work that wrist very, very smart again.
The back, the gut, the arm.
It goes back to Aligato.
She's just dismantling multiple places.
Working the hand wrist area.
Fans are trying to get behind Nanny AC.
Now she's trying to grab herself a wing.
Very, very hard to climb the cage when you can't grip with that left hand there.
A lot easier if you just went to bout time.
It's hard to climb it when you can grip it, I think, at this point.
Pulling her back into the ring now.
She is just being relentless with Nanny AC. She's been waiting for this, though, since she took that title away.
Snapmare roll through kick right to
Oh,
the chest.
right in the mush.
Just a vicious, vicious kick to the chest from a vicious, vicious lady. Aligato here.
When do you call it?
Not trying to climb out that yo. It's like she wants to abuse her a little
Huh?
bit.
When do you call a
Let's hope
match?
she doesn't live to regret that.
Center of that slingshot right into the cage.
What do you mean?
I mean, typically it's when somebody can't defend themselves, and it's getting close.
Yeah.
I don't think, but you don't
call a title
cage
match.
match.
though.
It's a steel cage match.
Title match.
Right.
Now they're fighting on top of the cage. Shot to the midsection. Forearm to the side of the face. They're two forearms.
They signed the contract. They knew what they were getting themselves into.
Another shot to the back.
Rams her.
Oh,
Goes up.
Whoa.
Must come down.
Hit her so
Look
hard on the
out,
cage, it shifted
front
the
row.
cage, and now both girls sitting on the top rope.
punched
That
her
would
right in
hurt
the
us.
kidneys.
Boy.
See her punching her right in the
This is a lot
kidneys?
uglier
Yeah.
early in the match than I thought it was going to be, that's for sure.
Nanny AC
Oh, no.
She's got the top of the cage, but
Oh,
she can't
no.
get out. Aligato's got her up, and a big sitting powerbomb.
Oh, a sit out.
Man.
And oh, wait a minute.
Wait, where's David Drake?
Lights
She hit her so hard, the lights
Did you
went
pay
out.
the power bill?
Drake can time travel?
What is happening here?
When did Drake get a DeLorean? I want a DeLorean.
If Drake pulled up in a DeLorean, that might be the scariest thing I've
I
ever
don't
seen.
know. It looks like the cage is moving. We can barely, it's Unholy Trinity.
What is she doing?
She's up top now. Now she's inside of the cage. I think they hope that this cage would keep Unholy Trinity. Yeah, we've seen this over the last several weeks. Just the change in Trinity.
That is
here.
not
And now she's
normal.
got
No.
Forearms to the back there of Aligato.
And there's no
What has
disqualification.
happened?
No.
Unholy
No.
Trinity.
John, you feel free to go in there and tell her to
Definitely
leave.
different, that is for Sure. Holy cow. She is on a mission. She is not an Aligato fan.
If Nanny had her wits about her, she'd just get over to that door.
Yeah, well, the door's locked.
The ref has to open it.
Oh, no.
Not true.
This could be the game changer right here, Matt.
We learned that
Nanny
at
is
school.
crawling towards the door.
POS would
Nanny's
learn
feet.
something about reffing too if he ever went.
Holy cow, you're just done. You're not even talking.
I'm just trying to watch. This is
Nanny AC's
unbelievable.
over there just like,
Unholy
don't pay
Trinity
any
inserting herself once
attention
again
to
into this
me.
matchup. Kick to the
Right,
back.
like Unholy Trinity is like the T-Rex. If you don't look at it, they can't see you.
Doesn't work with Simbodi, I'll tell you that.
No, it doesn't work with Simbodi, no.
On Aligato.
Look at her
Nanny
just
is
maul
inside,
her.
Slowly making her way towards the door. This could be her ticket out of the cage, Matt.
My good, look at that.
Annie, if I were you, I'd be walking through that door right now, not paying any mind to what's going on.
Yeah, but
It's like a train wreck. You can't look away.
Nanny's hurting over there, though. Look, she can't even move.
Oh,
She may have just found some inspiration to move
Trinity
faster.
looks possessed. That's what she looks like here tonight. Just possessed. And Nanny AC's in the corner, looking to get out. There goes the lights again. Holy cow. Keep your hands out of my pockets, Yabe.
What is What's going on? Lights out again. Darker. Wait a minute, lights back on. And Nanny AC. Nanny AC's on the outside of the. How did
she win?
She wins again. She
wins the match. Alligato is stunned. She is stunned.
Well,
Still in the cage, Nanny AC. Unholy
does
Trinity.
Nanny just figured out she won too?
You know, bad things happen to you when you get involved with the unholy one herself. Bad things happen to you and around you. And Alligato is figuring this out.
And the door is still locked. Did you notice that too?
I did see that. I don't know. Did Unholy Trinity carry her up over the cage? I mean, that was really, really quick. Alligato wants out. She is
upset. She is fired up, and rightfully so. Holy cow.
Unbelievable.
That's how you kick off Rocky Mountain Pro Charge.
That's how you start Rocky Mountain Pro Charge, ladies and gentlemen. We still have
wow.
great action coming up.
That was...
I'll tell you this, though.
Yeah.
Alligato knew exactly what she was doing when it came to using that cage.
Absolutely.
Curtis, my boy, come on. I've been waiting for you, bro. I want to talk to you. You know what this is about. You know what? Yeah, whatever. Sit down, bro. You know what this is about, right?
Yeah. Did you buy Gears of War 4 also?
What?
The Gears of War, it just came. Dude, it's supposed to be good. It should have been good. Gears of War 4?
Okay.
It's after the
He's talking about video games.
I thought it was gonna be fun. Sorry, I mean yelling here. It's kind of boring, but it got super good ratings on the internet, and I feel stupid not liking it. Did you buy it too, and you didn't like it either?
Curtis, you know, I gotta be honest with you. Like, I like you, like, but bro, like, you're a whack job. Like, you come in, I don't know what you're talking about. You live in some fantasy. I don't know what you're talking about. But here's what here's what I like about you. You know what I like about you, bro? I can see you have a big heart. I see out there with the people love you. You got a big heart. They love you. You love them. There's some kind of connection. I don't know what it is, but it's something. Yeah. But I get a feeling you're all about the peace and the love and the understanding. You're all about that, right?
Well, I don't want to fight anybody. I don't want to be like mean.
Yeah, it's all peace and okay, beautiful. Beautiful.
Is that okay?
Yes, that's why I called you. Bro, you gotta do me a favor. And I know you've known him a lot longer than I have. Tyler Stinson, bro, he's dogging me. Like, for no reason whatsoever. I've treated Tyler fairly like everybody else here in the company. Bro, I think he's got illusions of grandeur about me, bro. Maybe he believed internet stuff about me. Bro, I'm a nice guy. Chris, have you and I ever had a problem? Ever. Okay, bro, can you do me a favor? Can you talk to Tyler about the peace, the love, the other
Such an aggressive head.
Talk some, get him off my back, bro. Bro, I don't want to get freaking beat up by Tyler Stinson. Yeah.
I'll go get a beer.
Yes.
We'll get a beer. I'll get some beer.
Yes.
And we'll go outside and we'll have a heart to heart, dude. And
You and Tyler, right? Not me, you and Tyler, right?
What?
You and Tyler. No, you and Tyler.
I thought you were asking me to get
No, bro, bro, please.
Okay, so I'll get a beer and then I'll get Tyler.
Yes.
And then we will drink the beer.
Yes.
And talk about not liking Gears of War.
No, talk about not wanting to kill Vince.
Okay.
You tell Tyler you came in here, I'm a good guy, he's reading me wrong, he needs to give me a chance. You know, just give me a break. You know, almost like Trump, bro. Like, give me the benefit of the doubt.
It's Trump.
Just go tell Tyler that. Okay, bro,
Get the beer.
Yes.
Get Tyler.
You got this.
Drink the beer.
You got this.
Say, don't leave me to this.
Yes.
Don't leave me to this.
God bless Curtis. Go. God bless. God bless.
He really is a simple man, isn't he?
I'll start.
Curtis Cole, that is.
Listen, I'm gonna start. God, Titus, I can't listen to another one of your show opening promos. We'll be out there till 9 o'clock. I want to get something done tonight. What? Are you sweating out? When do I get to talk, brother? Just
the first
stand
thing
there.
you said in weeks.
Just stand there and look pretty, all right?
Just go out there.
I'll talk.
Don't do
first.
it.
Cartel not looking as strong as they could.
You can almost taste it. You can smell it in the air. The winds of change are upon us here at the Hoodlum Pro Wrestling Academy. You see, ever since I've taken over the school, we are in a new era. Ever since I've taken over Colorado Pro Wrestling, we are in a new age. So all you young, hopeful wrestlers, all you young, upcoming athletes, you want to come down to the school, you want to come down to the quarry, down to Hoodlum Pro Wrestling Academy and try to make a name for yourself? Well, I have good news. For a limited time, we are offering my services for the low, low price of literally everything you got. Bring your entire paycheck. Bring your wife. Bring your kids. I want everything in your house. You cannot pay me enough for my
I can't get over the must be potty train with the kids.
I love it.
I love the has to be able to cook for wife.
867-5309, baby. Go to MercuryProWrestling.academy right now.
This is not an actual phone number, you tool.
Revolution.
When I'll tell you, when you have kids and when they do become potty trained, it is the greatest day of your life.
It really is.
It is the greatest day of
No, and I'm still waiting for this one, but when they can wipe their own butt.
We get there. You get there.
Where's Vince Russo?
Oh boy.
Where's Vince Russo? He wants to strip me of my title. Today I will strip him of his power.
Cole better have some beers.
A lot of beers.
Hey, how you doing? I know you haven't got a chance to meet me yet. My name is Warren Cadence, and you are Dwayne Douglas. I've heard so much about you. Look, tonight, we got ourselves a match against the Left Coast Gorillas. Now, I don't know if you've seen them before, but them two is some brothers, and they real. I done got my ass whooped by both of them. So, I'm gonna need you to bring your A game, and then I'll bring my A game. And together, we'll make it fabulous.
Solid plan.
I don't know about that guy, nor do I even care. But tonight is my night. And when that bell rings, my hand's gonna be raised.
Yo, I get some like Ron Simmons vibes off that dude. Like I wanted him to turn around and go, damn.
Wow. The 4 Points Cartel, the Left Coast Gorillas.
Oh, Titus, I'm with you, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I hope my wife doesn't watch these shows. She might not like the way I look at her.
Hoodlum seeming to enjoy himself.
Listen, if it's awkward being out here after what happened last time, like, I understand. How are you feeling? I don't want to pour salt on a wound, but I think the people want to know.
It was probably one of the most devastating losses, actually the most devastating loss.
I think we've heard about enough of that.
I've lost control of my Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy.
Relax.
Now you got to listen to him.
We got a lot of ground to cover out here, so shut your mouth.
Hold on. Before he starts talking, because you know he's gonna go a long time, I want everyone to stand up on their feet, open your ears, because he's gonna spit some knowledge on you. That's right.
Is that what they call it now?
He's gonna spit some knowledge.
Well, he is a teacher now, so he's going to have to spit more knowledge, and I don't think he's
Brother,
up to the challenge.
okay, relax. He's a little fired up.
These guys need to switch the recap.
We're all a little fired up.
Anaya was indulgent a little bit before the show.
The reason why is because tonight we have something to celebrate. We have something to celebrate. We have the pleasure of looking at the man who is the new leader of the Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy. In fact, I see our boy over here. Hey, you know what? Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, for a guy with a promoter's body, you put up one hell of a fight.
It was a hell of
a guy with a promoter's body?
You should have known that, Yaden. You just should have known that I am better than you.
I think that was a fat joke.
I've always been better than you.
Yes, it was.
Coming from a fat guy, that is a fat joke, yes.
Belongs to the 4 Point Cartel. It belongs to the Left Coast Gorillas. And it belongs to the single greatest talent in the history of this state. It belongs to
with love.
And that won't last very long, Big Rock. I promise you that. This thing is not over. I built that. He thinks he built that place. I built this place. I promise everybody that I will restore order here.
All right,
Wrestling
relax.
Academy.
I know we're all very excited about it, but we do have some business to cover out here. And frankly, I'm a little too upset to talk about it, so I'm gonna let my boss, I'm gonna let the man himself, Titus, spit some knowledge.
You know, for a guy with a promoter's body, I was one table away from retaining that school. So what does that say about him? I mean, honestly, think about that. I hadn't been in the ring in a long time, probably 8-10 months.
Amazing. Anaya's got that younger brother problem, doesn't he?
I will get ready and I will beat him. I will get my school back.
I don't have any doubt about that.
And now we got to listen to this guy.
They're like the two brothers in the Sandlot.
I'm surprised. You know, I'm really shocked how many people are here.
I'm dying.
I still got to have fun, Big Rob.
I missed what Yaden said.
I said, give me your attention.
It's so loud, I can't hear it.
Doesn't sound like the crowd wants to give him their attention.
Listen to that crowd.
I got all night.
Titus
See,
sucks,
I
champ.
think it's really odd. There's so many people here because I thought half you people were going to Canada.
Oh,
but
shit.
you see, we have some problems here.
Late on that
We
joke.
have a few problems here at Rocky Mountain Pro. And last week's episode, Filter.
That's not really the place to
Mr.
go now,
Vince
is it?
Russo's Filter
La 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 la
put
la
his
la.
hands on the greatest talent in wrestling history.
That's up for debate.
So, now look, I know Mr. Russo, I work with Mr. Russo, and I don't think Mr. Russo meant any harm. Well, just wait. Listen. So, as opposed to having some of that wrestling backstage drama, Vince Russo, come on out here, explain to me and the 4 Point Cartel what happened with your filter.
And bring that of mice and men looking Jack Yak.
We got Vince Russo coming out here. And this big guy, we've seen him several times over the last several weeks.
If you have not met Filter in person, he is one of the largest humans you'll ever stand next to.
I'm a very large human, and I felt small.
I hope so. Very, very large individual. Here, we're obviously working with Vince Russo. I thought Titus Machiavelli and Vince Russo were super close. You saw the history I had with those guys, trying to keep control of my company, and both of them were just, well, they'd say I was the one going crazy, but I was only going crazy because I didn't know what direction we were going. Things up, Hoodlum not looking too happy here.
You know, guys, normally wrestling security guys aren't that big. Yep.
But now it looks like
There's some big dudes there. Like, this is the security.
Yeah.
What's Tiny doing out here?
I know it's hard, but do your best.
Titus, I'm trying to run a show in the back. You got something to say it. Let's end it. Let's get on with the show. Do you people want to see wrestling or do you want to hear us talk?
I
So
think we
go
want to see
ahead,
wrestling.
spit it out, bro.
I want to see anything.
That's it, Vince, let's not play the crowd here. I'm talking business. Why did you send this man to attack the money here at Rocky Mountain Pro? Did you do that, Vince?
Is that what you think?
Well, what am I supposed to think, Vince? That's why I asked you to come out here
Let me
and
tell
talk
you a
to
little
me.
something about Filter. Let me tell you a little something about what Filter's job is. Filter is here for one reason and one reason only. You know what that is, Titus? I'm a creative guy. And I've heard the rumors for 25 years that Vince Russo needs a filter. Well, guess what? I got a filter now. Okay, so he's the filter. And you know what?
I mean, he's not wrong, though. Yeah, it is a wicked knee slapper.
I give him my ideas. Filter, you think this is a good idea? Yes or no? He gives me feedback on my ideas. He's my filter. Now, as far as him going into business for himself.
For himself.
Quite different than the previous filters he's had.
20-year-old kid. He's green as Hoodie and Anaya once were green. The kid made a mistake, Hoodie. I'm telling you right now, hold on. I'm here to apologize for Filter.
So it sounds like Filter
He got a
went to business
little
for
out of
himself
hand,
there.
and we want to make it up to you guys. I'll tell you exactly what we're going to do. You guys have a match coming up here in about 30 seconds. You guys have Matt Yaden sitting at ringside that we all know is starting to get his hands on you.
I could vouch for that sitting
So
here next to you.
what we will do
You
to
can
make
feel the
it up,
heat.
Titus,
He ain't lying.
Gorillas, I will place Filter in your corner to keep an eye on Mr. Yaden, so we will make sure
he's here to
to
filter
have
you out
a
of this
fair
equation.
fight. That is our
Rob.
peace offering. Take it
You
or
know
leave
that
it,
seems
Titus.
fair, doesn't it?
I'm with that, right? Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Vince Russo still thinks.
As long as Tiny knows who the boss is, you're telling me you had nothing to do with it?
He makes Titus
I'll
look
take your
fucking
word on
tiny.
it, Vince.
I know.
Excuse me. Stinking tiny.
Let's get down to some wrestling.
Hugs and kisses.
Well, you saw him stand next to me at Milestone that year.
That relationship, Filter attacking Hoodlum, but Vince Russo says that it was not at his command, and Filter kind of went out on his own. But now
I'm
he's
not
gonna
used to
make
being
good
the
on
smaller
that
dude in the
by
room.
being in the
I
corner of
would.
the left coast Gorillas
He is
to
a-
keep me out. Look, here's the thing, Big Rob. I got a little too hot. I got a little too angry. I let my emotions get the best of me. I found an opportunity to get rid of Titus Machiavelli, and I put up my school. Probably not the smartest thing, but I had confidence in my abilities because it meant that much to me, and I almost pulled it off, okay? But right now, it's time for me to run this company. It's time for me to do this job that I have pledged to do. That's to sit with you and talk about what's going on here at Rocky Mountain Pro. And speaking of what's going on here at Rocky Mountain Pro, we've got the most colorful individual here at Rocky Mountain Pro, Warren Cadence, with his tag team partner, active duty Air Force, the show Dwayne Douglas. This guy is yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, very straight and narrow. What an odd pairing to be in the ring with the most, the most, I don't know, how do you describe Warren Cadence? The most colorful, the most outlandish. There's so many colorful words used to describe this kid.
Colorful's a great word.
Yeah, let's just say the most colorful individual in Rocky Mountain Pro.
I gotta tell you, Filter has
It's
barely
Beauty and the
taken his
Beast.
eyes off of
That should have been their tag team name.
Oh, but then,
pointed out.
well, they took their eyes off of the Left Coast Gorillas over there, did the show.
That is not what you want to do.
Warren Cadence
no.
now, and now the Gorillas right on top. I mean, what a mismatch this is. Dwayne Douglas, very, very new to the professional wrestling game. Warren Cadence, has been working at this for several years.
This is what would have happened if that
Not
kid
just
had
quite
gotten
the
got by
level of the
Harambe.
Left Coast Gorillas.
Speaking of
Regardless
gorillas,
of how you feel about them personally, they are probably one of, if not
You know,
the best.
you
tag
hear
teams
Hoodie
in
and
Rocky
Anaya
Mountain right
arguing
now.
all the time
It's tough to put
in the
differences aside
back
to admit something
during
like
a
that.
promo.
It is,
Like
but
they're
I have to
always
say, I have to
yelling
give
at
big
each other.
top
But the
prize to
minute
this
that
team
the
Rocky
bell
Mountain Pro,
rings, they are
to,
two of the
their
most
cohorts
in sync
there,
dudes you
the
could
HR
find.
Nightmare, 'cause they are
well, they just
currently
beat each
holding
other
the
up
Rocky Mountain Pro tag team
vicariously through the other
titles,
team.
so
Feel like
maybe the second
Basically,
Do those two
yeah.
come together at some point? I mean, they have to.
I would think so. I mean, they're all working together now for Titus. So, I mean, the 4 points cartel.
They're not even
now
letting
is
Douglas
in
on
firm
the
control of this company,
apron.
and we have to band together to get this thing back. Shots now.
How
to the
smart
face
is that?
Of Warren Cadence.
Oh, there he is.
Wrong
Look,
part
he's
of
up there
town
now.
here.
He is going to be all kinds of colorful under that suit after this match tonight.
Absolutely.
Oh,
The European uppercut followed up by that drop kick.
That was gorgeous drop
I
kick.
will say that the best oiled machine here in Rocky Mountain Pro is definitely the Left Coast Gorillas. Now we got to cover 2 and a kick out. Warren Cadence now just getting worn down. You cannot deny the fight of this young man. He will go to battle against anybody, but
Dwayne Douglas trying to get the crowd back into it, trying to get Warren Cadence to fire back up and charge up, as we say.
Warren Cadence, they're still shaking off that shot. I guess he took a shot to the face. The jaw still looking like it hurt him a little bit. These guys hit hard. I mean, the Left Coast Gorillas hit hard, and they hit where they want, when they want.
Are you watching? Like, are you as uncomfortable staring at Filter as he is staring at you right
Absolutely. Look at that guy. I don't know who's looking
You guys
right now.
notice
He's got
Titus
those
just grabbing a hold of him
sunglasses
over there, keeping him in
on
the corner?
inside. Shots right to the jaw. I'm surprised Warren Cadence is still standing.
now? He needs to get the tag bad. Dwayne Douglas is ready to come in.
Oh, that hurt.
You hear that echo?
Filter still standing there, arms crossed, sunglasses indoors.
It is kind of bright in here, boss.
I guess. And he's got him up. Oh, man.
Cool.
These
That's
two are
devastating.
one of the best double teamers in the business. Maybe not the top because they're not the champions.
You get shorter,
right
and then they stretch
now,
you back out with the
They are just
uppercut.
toying with Warren Cadence.
Coming at you at like 20 miles an hour.
He certainly doesn't look as happy now as he did when he came to the ring.
No, not at all.
Oh,
Big
man.
forearm right to the face. You know, I think they could end this thing whenever they wanted. They're sending a message. They like to hurt people. They know they're in firm control of this matchup. Big chop.
Oh, I could feel that at the commentary table.
Felt hasn't
Dwayne
moved.
Douglas there on the outside, really trying to get this crowd behind him. I mean, talk about needing to desperately make a tag here.
Oh, it's needed in a very bad way at this point.
Taking shot after shot. The Warren Cade's trying to stay in this thing.
Knee to the face.
Wait, am I reading that right?
Relentless right now.
Chet's comment that the Gorillas were never the champions?
Crawling, trying to get Dwayne Douglas
Oh, I
there.
think
Got
they
the
had to
hand
have been.
out, but
He is so close.
I agree. I mean, like, we're getting to watch all this now,
being
but
mocked by
never?
Anaya. Shot to the back of the head there, and
I call bullshit.
again, like Big Rob, they're just messing with they're just toying with him.
That's all this is at this point.
And he came down.
Mistake.
Can he get
Mess
the tag
around.
here? And then he moved.
Come on.
New life there. And Warren Kane so needs to get to the once he back into the wrong corner, but then he's able to get away. Here comes the show. Dwayne Douglas, ball of fire, fires up, hip toss over the top rope into the ring.
Keep moving.
And a drop kick. And the show Dwayne Douglas now taking over.
That was kind of like some Luke Hangs right there on the side.
The swing big, sitting down, brings him to the
Gorgeous.
We could have
Oh, cool side
big
effect.
upset coming up here too. And Anaya with the save. We almost saw a huge tag team upset here. Warren Canes went for that cross body. Caught by Anaya. Across the back, across his knee.
He need him right in the
Just like
spine.
that. Dwayne Douglas.
It did. Like, it
Canes
looked like he
shut
dropped
that
him on
down.
his knee, right?
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't really a backbreaker. It was more like
Turn
he
the lights out on
like
Dwayne
kneed him
Douglas.
and dropped him at the same time.
And Filter now in the ring. I don't know what is going on. Distracted by Filter. There's a lot of confusion going on here.
And look what's going outside the ring right now.
I mean, eyes in the back of their heads. Dwayne Douglas now close behind. 1, 2, 3. He got him.
He stole that one, man.
Unbelievable. I would have never expected to see Dwayne Douglas.
Oh, that's not going to go over well.
Filter got in the ring, distracted Anaya. Anaya looking frustrated. Again, eyes in the back of his head. He knows what Filter did to his brother, and he wanted to make sure that it didn't happen again. I thought he was out here to pay attention to me, and instead, he cost the Left Coast Gorillas the matchup. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Unbelievable. And we still have a Charge Championship match coming up. Later on tonight, Stephen Ashburn and Curtis Cole, the current Charge champion. That's coming up, ladies and gentlemen, on Rocky Mountain Pro Charged.
What the hell was that, huh?
Oh, somebody's grumpy. Was he have a beer with him?
Supposed to.
What? Russo's gone! God damn it, Curtis Russo!
Well, here comes the champ.
Rocky Mountain Pro champion, sugar-free, Mario Vanger.
He would not have liked things around my house.
Yes!
We had all kinds of candy cane.
He wouldn't like things around my house right now.
And
I'd get this
boys,
promoter's body
he's
on
got a
accident.
mic.
Big Rob.
Mario
Oh my
Vanger
God.
hates
Yes.
Easter. This is a black day
I'm a
for
big
Mario
fan of this
Vanger.
guy.
Easter is not a
Can't
good
say that
holiday
he
for
follows message
Mario.
very well, but he has earned this Rocky Mountain Pro Championship. And what a turn!
I hate the jelly bean.
Hated Mario Vanger, but then they really started taking to him.
No,
because
the
they
peanut
see
butter.
He lives his message.
The
He
Reese's,
lives
the
his
garbage.
dream, and then do something contrary to what he says. He lives the message, and he's just trying to make America and the world a healthier place.
I hate the fake grass.
Stupid
rabbit and his eggs.
I bet Samuel Dow would beg to differ with all of
Absolutely, Samuel.
Rabbits don't lay eggs.
He wants it back bad.
It's stupid.
Humphrey Jacobs the first. We need to talk right over here in the ring. So why don't you walk down that aisle and let's talk.
Calling out
That's
Humphrey
right,
Jacobs. Calling out Humphrey Jacobs. The first is Sugar Free. Oh, and we just got...
They're throwing candy at him in the ring right
They're
now.
throwing candy at him.
We're still not fans of the Sugar Free message.
Hey, don't. That's not very nice.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hear the music of Humphrey Jacobs the first. Let's see what he has to say right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Rocky Mountain Pro Charged. In the ring now, champion Mario Vanger and Humphrey Jacobs, the first answering Mario Vanger's call to have him come out and have a conversation.
Now listen closer. You're not going to catch what he says.
Oh no, you'll be able to hear everything Mario
Sometimes you need a
says.
translator to understand what Sugar Free is saying.
He doesn't need a mic.
We all have that one friend.
Yes.
What do you think Mario orders about time?
It's a split crowd here tonight.
We got our HJ1 fans and our Sugar Free fans.
You think he's a wing guy?
These are two of the hottest wrestlers.
No, I think he's a burger guy. No, I put him as like a burger guy. With no fries. I don't think he eats the fries, though.
No.
First of all, I can inspire anybody to stop eating sugar.
I think he said
even
inspire.
Even that loudmouth fat boy over there.
Did he point at me?
Point at me when he said that? I'm not wait.
I respect the fact that you're bringing tradition back to professional wrestling. I respect it. But nevertheless, the most traditional thing is long reigning champions. And you're looking at him. The future president.
Sugar Free.
I would vote for Mario Vanger.
You know, I love your movies. Terminator, Predator, Commando, Kindergarten Cop, not so much. You know,
my favorite.
While you're busy worrying about Hollywood, you're right about one thing. I'm bringing tradition back to professional wrestling. You talk about long reigning champions, Harley Race, Ric Flair. You are none of these things. When it comes to that old style, Humphrey Jacobs the first is the king. Just like right about here.
Bold words for someone that just kind of came into professional. Whoa!
Who do you think you are? You know who I am?
Well, wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just going to be a one-on-one conversation. Now we got a third member of this conversation coming out to speak his mind, and that is former Rocky Mountain Pro Champion Sam Udell. Man,
He's one of those specimens. If the aliens said, "Send us your biggest to fight for you," he'd be one of the guys.
He's going to earn that Rocky Mountain Pro title back, and maybe he will be here to defend it every time he's supposed to.
So you guys thought you would come out here for a championship segment. That's cute. Because that's not a championship anymore. Since they stripped me of the Rocky Mountain Pro Heavyweight Championship, you're just holding a piece of leather, Mario. And Humphrey, how many times do I have to tell you that you're not main event material? Well, I'm done telling you. I talked to Titus, and next week, Sam Udell versus Humphrey Jacobs, #1 contender for the Rocky Mountain Pro Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
I'm in.
I'm here for
Let's do
that.
this right now. Who in the green?
I'm in for that even more.
Oh, here comes Sam Udell now, hitting the ring. Wrong
Get a
thing to
ref.
say to Sam Udell.
Get a
He
ref.
wants that
No,
title
not
back.
security. Get a ref. I'm right
Mario
here.
Van- Oh, and now Sam Udell turns his attention to the champ and shots. to the face. There's Samuel, but a reversal there by Mario Vanger. That's press. And now Mario Vanger now laying those shots in. Samuel trying to get the arm to defend himself.
Now see if
is breaking down.
I would have called that the pixie stick press.
But can you believe what we just heard next week on Rocky Mountain Pro Charge? Samuel versus Humphrey Jacobs the first.
Jacobs holds on.
One contenders match.
Double clothesline gets them both over, and the champ stands tall in the ring.
That is a sugar-free body. That is not a promoter's body, boss.
Unbelievable events here now on Charged. Sam Udell wants his title
champion.
back. Mario Vanger, though, has something else to say about it. Did you hear that? Next week, #1 contenders match for the right to face sugar-free Mario Vanger for the Rocky Mountain Pro title.
I cannot wait for that.
Mario Vanger's the guy where if you go to the gym and they're like, he's your trainer, you just go, you know what? I'm just going to be fat.
Championship up for grabs. Curtis Cole, the current champion, takes on the loose cannon, Stephen Ashburn.
And he has been so unpredictable lately. I mean, we might walk away with that Charge championship tonight.
And you know, as a wrestling match, Cole and Ashburn it sounds awesome. Fast forward 6 years, and they're the two biggest knuckleheads walking.
Bitch!
Ooh.
There she is.
Oh, wait, I forgot.
What?
I missed the censor button.
You're hiding!
She was calling upon the female dog.
It's mostly only during the first few minutes of a YouTube video. You can get away with a few here and there. The hell?
Tag, you're at.
What the?
Mower of lawns.
That's a lawnmower to the face. What the hell is going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Rocky Mountain
I dropped my
Pro
cigarette in the
Charge,
room.
Pro Wrestling Elevated.
Oh man, he is
very
ready. Unpredictable. But he does look ready, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Speaking of unpredictable, we just saw Ali Gatto looking for Unholy Trinity, and they got into it, man. This thing's really
Seems
heating up
happy.
between those two.
Must have just foreclosed on some orphan's home.
Heat on those two is an understatement. What happened tonight in that cage match is something we will never forget.
Absolutely not. Right now in the ring, you got Stephen Ashburn. He talk about uncontrollable, somebody that has just lost his mind in the last several months. Curtis Cole, the current Rocky Mountain Pro Charge champion, ready to proudly defend that belt. Talk about another unlikely champion, which we've had several of those, so it's becoming a lot more likely for these kids that have gotten into professional wrestling, trained harder at the Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy than most people I see around the country training. And it pays off for them. Curtis Cole is a perfect example for that. And
Normally people like Curtis.
That's what I'm admiring about this. If these people had any idea, in just a few short years.
But Curtis
these
Cole's
guys.
always been that way. So he's been kind of crazy and out of his mind a little bit longer than Stephen Ashburn, at least that we've seen here at Rocky Mountain Pro. So I think the edge is in the champ's favor.
And he is definitely a proud champion. He wears that belt with pride. And he's not going to let Stephen Ashburn take it away that easy tonight. That's not going to happen. Whoa.
Did he just shoot a rubber band at him?
Having a little fun with it, apparently.
Always has a good time, man. You can never really get a serious...
Dad ref.
First, the challenger from Cleveland, Ohio. Please welcome Stephen.
Holy smokes, that mic.
Crowd going on here. Stephen
And his opponent from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, is your Rocky Mountain Pro Charge champion, Curtis Cole.
Definitely the fan favorite here tonight, that is for sure.
Curtis Cole ready to defend this belt, always with a...
We have a super chat of Johnny Deathdrop with 99
Johnny
cents.
Dude.
This guy is having the time of his life. I've never really seen anything like it. Not
He
here in
returns.
Colorado, or anywhere for that matter.
Anytime now, Stephen Ashford, foot goes off and the switch is just flipped in his head. Look out.
He is nuts. Well, he's just already laser focused here. Stephen Ashford could become the first ever Triple Crown champion here at Rocky Mountain Pro. He is a former
Focus and talent have never been a problem for Ashford. It's just he's a giant piece of human garbage.
Right. That's the thing we always said. The wrestling is supreme. He's fluid, great wrestler. It's when he let his head go into the toilet that it's just like, yeah, but you suck. I don't care how good you are.
Definitely the quicker of the two. Stephen Ashford trying to get wrist control on that waist lock there from Curtis Cole. Able to break the hands, top wrist lock, I'm sorry, standing wrist lock coming up and a kick. Stephen Ashburn, more than anybody else here at Rocky Mountain Pro.
I feel those weird things. You compliment Ashburn and you feel like you need to take a shower.
Little fancy work there into the corner. And he gets, and a side slam. Curtis Cole showing a little power of his own.
He's not unstrong. He's just not as strong maybe as Ashburn.
I'm afraid to say anything good for fear of Curtis clipping it.
And right back to that arm.
And using it as though we're saying it about him now.
Well, I mean,
instead of watching him 6-7 years ago.
If you want to talk about something now, I mean, look at the way Curtis is toned up and cut up since he was younger. I mean, he's in good shape.
You can't doubt that, no doubt.
7 years ago, he still looks great.
I think he had a little bit of hair there.
Well, there's a lot of hair to grab.
We're going to see him focus on that arm for however long this matchup takes. That is his best opportunity to win. He knows it. He's a very, very smart wrestler.
And to be a Triple Crown champion would be a huge deal for him.
Absolutely, the first ever, and that doesn't happen by accident.
No.
I tell you what, before he lost his mind, I was super proud of this kid. The first ever student of the Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy. He came in, he was young, he was hungry. He wanted nothing more than to be a professional wrestler, to be a champion. 1, 2, he won the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship in his first 2 months as a professional wrestler. He has done things over and over again to continue to prove people wrong, and he's looking to do it again tonight. Big suplex. I can't say he comes in.
But this is always Ashburn's MO. Big move. Wait. Big move. Wait.
Talk some smack. Rinse and repeat.
He is the champion for a reason.
Yes, and he's defended it multiple times, so it's not a fluke. Winning that title at Milestone 6 back in July.
Gives him some time to prove us right when we say he's a knucklehead. And then he does all that stuff, and it's like, yeah, you are a freaking knucklehead. Curtis Cole with a nice reversal.
Very cool reversal.
Beautiful. Into a quick neck breaker.
The quickness of Curtis Cole.
That'll get you some space.
Back to what you're saying, matches in 2016.
I think if you did a top 10, Curtis Cole would have 2 or 3 in that top 10.
Absolutely, without doubt, maybe more. Big elbow though, and he cuts him right back off. Stephen Ashburn.
He's just being funny. He thinks he's got this locked
up. Ric Flair flop there?
It's a huge mistake. Many have thought that was Curtis Cole before, and they always end up on the wrong side of the match. Methodically staying on, and of course, right back to that arm, shoulder, right to the shoulder area of Curtis Cole. And a single arm. Here, Curtis Cole yell out.
Ouch. He said the whole
break bones, whatever he can do.
Ouch, Charlie, that hurt.
He bit me finger.
What a main event so far.
That's still in it. He punches him right in the boob, too. The hell with you.
Yeah.
Two titles defended tonight on Charge.
It actually hurts really bad to get punched in the back. There's not a lot of like skin there above muscle, so it's like a Charlie horse in your chest.
Exactly. It's still that muscle wraps all the way around your rib cage, kind of like. It's still not pleasant.
Gentlemen battling in the ring for the Rocky Mountain Pro Charge Championship Club.
If anybody's ever like cracked a rib or pulled an oblique or something, like breathing hurts, but sneezing or like scrunching up for any reason is the worst.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He knocked the buckle
wide
off.
Open. Look what's wide open now.
Curtis, I know you were planning that, but that was sound strategy. Just stay on the floor.
You can't really ever count him down, even when it looks like he's down and out. the speed. I'm talking
And
about.
there it is, big leg
That's
lariat.
big.
Not much energy left to follow up, though. Curtis Cole, the first to his feet.
Hadn't started calling it the Contra Code yet.
Nope.
He's waiting for Steven Ashburn now. Steven Ashburn up, comes out, and he caught
Oh.
it! Right back to that arm. He was able to pinpoint that knee
to
right
elbow.
to the shoulder of Curtis Cole, and just like that.
Yeah, the
Curtis
landing,
Cole,
too.
Tyler Stinson now.
What is happening
Oh, hello.
here?
This match
Turns
is
around
over.
and
Yeah, Cole didn't have that beer with him, I guess.
Referee calling for that bell.
Hey, wait a second. Does that mean is the title changing
Oh, and a
hands?
shot right to the back. Stinson has had enough. Curtis Cole, though.
He just cost him his title. Do you realize what just happened?
Unbelievable turn of events here. Tyler Stinson let his emotions get the best of him, and he has caused. Wait a minute. So the match isn't being thrown out. The charge title's being awarded to Steven Ashburn.
If you get disqualified at Rocky Mountain Pro.
All right, you know how Ashburn likes to say he's the Grand Slam champion over and over and over?
Is this the charge title?
Yeah, because I now want an asterisk in front of
That
this.
just happened, and I don't think Curtis Cole had anything to do with it.
Nope.
Unbelievable way to end an unbelievable night here, Rocky Mountain Pro.
He is not
Curtis
happy
Cole.
with that.
Now I really do
Charge
understand why
champion,
Cole hates
ladies and gentlemen.
Ashburn.
What is going to happen? We're going to have to wait until next week.
That
Rocky Mountain
is
Pro
some horse
Charge, Pro
cockery
Wrestling
right there.
Elevated right here
That is
on
fine.
the Realm Network. We'll see you next week.
And that, ladies and
Belt.
gentlemen, is what's going to happen now if you end up getting disqualified and you're in a championship match.
That is the rule.
There it is right there.
That
The rules
is.
are the rules,
Yeah.
and the facts are the facts.
And that goes into effect in 2023 as well. Oh, we gotta get rid of this. Get out of here. Stop streaming. There you go.
If that's a thing, then
That's the thing.
there should be discretionary basis that there could be like a meeting or something or an immediate rematch or something to that effect.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
I know, but
Here's the thing. You got to be discretionary about it. If you cause the disqualification, absolutely, you stripped your title. In that particular sense right there that happened to Curtis Cole, that should be reviewable.
you're damn straight. I can't believe we're going to bat like this for Curtis Cole. Like,
I know, I feel dirty
no,
again.
now. But
Johnny, we got to wrap the show up. I need to go shower.
I don't even have a shirt on, like a ref shirt on. I have to be down
So
the middle
that
of
is how
like, nah,
Steven-
that had nothing to do with Cole.
That is how Steven Ashburn won his Charge Championship.
Oh my God! Just another reason to think that he's a prima donna.
That is some horse cockery right there. And
RJ
it's
goes,
Bellflowerist.
RJ goes, hey bro, two cool dudes won the tag belts from them the exact same way. Welcome to Rocky Mountain
Still-
Pro, ladies and gentlemen.
That's still some things, bro. We'll take it case by case at this point, but we'll have some fun with it. I don't know.
And then Canadian Jet goes, that may be bad for La Isla.
I mean, like, I agree with Coastal. Like, if you cause the DQ, right? Like, if you hit the guy with the chair, if you did anything, put him through a table and announce something to that effect, get yourself disqualified, you deserve every bit of losing the title, yeah. But if there's outside interference like that, yeah, ring the bell, but an immediate steel cage match. I'm all for more cage matches, to be honest with you.
So no, so now all JK Pop has to do is come down when Lisa's having a tag match and crack one of their opponents in the head, and they lose, and then we can challenge for the belts again.
Spit the mist, anything.
That's all it takes.
Preston can
Rosin,
in a wheelchair.
It's a windy day.
It's not a windy day anymore, Coastal. It's not windy out there. The wind is up in the mountains somewhere. No, don't do that shit.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up the rewind, and that's going to wrap up the
That's a good show, though.
stream
It was
tonight.
very good.
That was
Very
a good charge. That was
Loving
very-
these rewinds.
Yes.
We started off tonight with Dudes and Belts Reignited from this past Thursday. Went over everything that happened on Ignition. We just finished an episode 9 of Rocky Mountain Pro Charge from Season 1, all the way back in 2016. And
16.
now, yep, and we're right about the time where we have to get off right now. So, goddamn, I did it again.
That's what she said.
I did it again.
Johnny, you might want to just take that phrase and just take it right out of the thing.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that, huh? Yeah.
Sign off.
Yeah, we're gonna have to sign off now.
Yeah, we're gonna
hit
have
the
to.
button and we're gonna go to bed. And,
Yep.
You know.
So forget what I said about the whole getting off thing. We're just gonna sign out now. I said forget about what I said about the whole. Yeah, well, you know what?
Say it again.
You know what? It's 11:30 at night over here.
It is late.
Screw
Yeah,
you
it is
guys.
late.
That's all I
Happy
gotta
Easter.
say. Happy
Screw
Easter.
you
There
guys.
you go.
Go ahead.
Oh, you don't do it right.
I'm gone.
You guys, I'm going home.
That's pretty damn good.
That's not bad.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty sweet.
That's pretty fucking sweet.
Oh, keep going.
That's pretty fucking sweet, guys.
Keep going. What else you got?
Yeah, the views and expressions of the Dudes and Belts Wrestling podcast are those of the dudes, and we're pretty sweet dudes. We really are.
Disclaimer.
And if you don't like it, you need to respect our authority.
He did the disclaimer in common. That's so pisser. That was so pisser, bro. Well done. Well freaking done.
Fantastic. Too bad
Well done.
Too bad we don't have a clip button on YouTube. Actually, that might be a good thing.
How is there not? There's really not a clip button on YouTube?
There is a clip button, but it's a clip button that automatically gets sent out to social medias. Like you don't get to save it or anything. It's stupid.
Oh, that could be dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
You need to screen things before they go to social media.
Basically. All right, guys, we are going to wrap up the show this evening. We thank you guys so much for watching with us on this Easter night. We will be back on Tuesday for another episode of Recharge, and I'm almost positive, actually, I'm about 99.9% positive we will be back for Reignited on Thursday nights at our usual time at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 10 p.m. on the East Coast.
Yes.
And don't forget, we have Noel on next week. Mark it in your goddamn calendars. It's going to probably be a very interesting get-together with the Dudes and Belts and part of the
We're going to let
Asylum,
Triple I ask the first question.
Yes.
May God be with the dudes.
Yes, we're going to have him be the guinea pig.
Yeah, Triple I. Actually, he's going to be on site.
You know, I really like that. I really, really like that. Yeah.
What we do is we all get there. Okay, first question is Triple I, and
Is
then
he
all
gonna
the
be there on time?
and then all the rest of us, just drop out, and it's just him and Noel.
Not a bad idea. Anyway,
And we see how long it takes him to pee his pants.
guys, we're going to sign off. Thank you guys so much. To myself, Johnny Deathdrop, Coast Crusader, and Marky Pins. We will see you guys on Tuesday for another episode of Dudes and Belts Recharged. As always, folks, stay safe, stay classy, and we will see y'all on the next one. Take care, folks.
Happy Easter.